The following is a presentation of Saginaw Spirit Hockey. The Spirit are set to take the ice. But first, get all the game day information you need. It's time for Countdown to Face-Off on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey, WSGW.
Hockey League, where you absolutely have to make the most of your opportunities. For the Guelph Storm, they're 2 games into this road trip. They've more than done that for the Saginaw Spirit. 2 games into a 3-game homestand here this week, and there's some that's been left on the table. As they welcome the Guelph Storm here to the Dow Event Center tonight, they want to make sure they don't leave anything on the table here on this Sunday evening. We welcome you here to Saginaw, Michigan, up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. My name's Dylan Clark. Thanks to all of you for being along for this ride. Jack Snevice will join us later on in the program. Saginaw in 7th place in the Western Conference, the Guelph Storm in 6th. This is the final meeting between these two teams and the Guelph Storm. They needed overtime for one, but they've won all 3 matchups between these two teams so far this year. We take a look at the numbers here. Saginaw comes into this game 49 points. They failed to register any against the Sarnia Sting last night. The Storm, a 1-0 victory thanks to Tyler Hopkins up in Sault Ste. Marie. Chris Lazary said at the trade deadline that 6th place was the goal for this Spirit team that traded away some of its veterans. They're close, within striking distance of the Storm. They won't be able to cover that ground here tonight, but this game is incredibly critical for a Spirit team and a Storm team trying to lock up the next playoff spot here in the OHL's Western Conference. And in the season series so far, we mentioned 3 Guelph Storm wins. One player is chiefly responsible for those, and he is Leo Serlin. A goal and 6 assists for 7 points in just 3 games against Saginaw this year. He rides a 3-game scoring streak into this contest. Picked up an assist last night in Sault Ste. Marie. And for the Saginaw Spirit, nobody's found more points than Nikita Klepov has, 78 of them on the season. Until very recently, that was tied with Nathan Aspinall for the league lead. Aspinall has an assist in Flint's current game right now. 4-time OHL Rookie of the Week. A goal and 2 assists for 3 points against the Sarnia Sting last night. Saginaw needs their leading scorer going here today. Chris Lazary has shuffled the lines a little bit. Nikita Klepov is a part of that. He finds some new line mates. We take a break, and when we come back, we sit down with the Spirit head coach, Coach's Corner, talking about new line combinations and more. Saginaw and Guelph, back after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Garber is your local Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer. Family owned, locally trusted. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at your local Jeep and Ram dealer. Garber, Bay Road, Saginaw. Online 24/7 at GarberCDJR.com.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh & Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh & Associates. Retirement made clear.
Now, get inside analysis directly from the Spirit coaching staff. This is Coach's Corner.
as the Spirit close out this weekend on a Sunday evening against the Guelph Storm, joined again by Spirit head coach Chris Lasry. Coach, lots to talk about from last night's game against the Sarnia Sting. But to go back to that first period, a power play goal from Jacob Kluche got things started. It was a lot of zone time. It was a lot of puck movement. Is that kind of the power play goal that you can point to when you're showing video to these guys going forward?
Yeah, and we've been talking about forcing the seam for a while, but it's just like we have core principles on our power play, one of them being how fast we move pucks, the type of looks that we want to have. But we looked at before the game-winning goal for Canada in the semifinals, about how many times they try to feed the seam. And once you connect on one of them, you get a pretty good look, like the chances are you're going to score. So I think we've shied away from trying to force some plays in the power play at times that you need to do. We did one there and we connected. I think it was our fourth attempt at a seam pass there, and then we finally got it through and we scored.
And in that third period, we typically haven't seen the Lions get thrown in a blender to that extent to this point in the season. But it's going to be the same thing again here tonight. When you mix up the lines to that extent, just how much does it force guys to think differently?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't want to mix the lines up, but I'm not happy with one particular line. So if we're not going to play the right way as a group, we're going to divide guys up and try to give guys opportunities that they normally wouldn't have. So that's kind of where we're at. Like we're at 10 games left. There's a standard that we want to play to when it comes to work ethic, tracking, competing, and other things. When that's not met, to me, that's the deal. We get to do what we do in the offensive zone and have the numbers we do off the rush, but it comes around the commitment that everybody on our team, when it comes time to track and work, are going to be, making that full commitment as well. And I don't think as a team right now that we're doing it to the level we need to do it at to win games or to develop the culture that we want.
Tyson Ackerman called up earlier today from the GOHL Kamoka. Going to at least be taking warm-ups here. What do you need to see out of him, or what do you expect to see out of a player that could potentially make his OHL debut?
Yeah, we're next man up mentality right now on the back end. We got some injuries. We got guys that are playing pretty banged up, but he gets in. It's his job to play the way we're asking him to play hard, defend, break out pucks, transition pucks, get active in the O-zone when we need you to, but just really go in there and be an ultra competitor. It's a game of hockey that just now that you're at the UHL level hasn't changed from the junior B level, so just everything happens a lot quicker and guys are stronger, but it's next man up. It's an opportunity for him. He's trying to make our franchise, make our organization, and wants to be a part of it in his future. But you got your opportunity now to put a really good impression in a lot of people's mouths.
And a chance here for Spirit fans to see a kind of a franchise icon in Josh Bloom return here tonight. Just how good is it for you to see a pretty key piece of a really important group come back here tonight?
Yeah, I mean it's a player we had here for 5 years. I've known him since he was really a 15-year-old kid when we interviewed him prior to the draft. But I mean, every time I take that bench, kind of during the anthems, I'll stare down at that net. And it's hard not to visualize, that moment of him taking off and going on his knees and screaming and the whole place going nuts, and we're champions 21.7 seconds later, right? So to have him back in the building, to be able to talk about that moment, to be able to see him laugh, tell stories, looking forward to it. It should be a nice crowd here for him, and he's deserved it. He's earned it. He's one of the most popular players we've ever had here.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight. That's Chris Lasry. Saginaw closes out this weekend with the Guelph Storm. Back after this on your own for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life, where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Starting lineups for tonight's game brought to you by Saginaw Valley State University. For the visiting Guelph Storm, Ilya Shabinsky with Tyler Hopkins and Yako Wysick, Grant Spada and Quinn Beauchene on the blue line. It'll be Zach Jovanovski between the pipes. For the Saginaw Spirit, they go with Dima Zhilkin, Jensen Geldart, and Brody Papoy up front. Graydon Jones and Caden Sienko on the back end, and Caleb Papineau in net for Saginaw. Starting lineups brought to you by Saginaw Valley State University, your community engaged university in the Great Lakes Bay region. A quick break. We're back as the Spirit continue to honor Josh Bloom, and then the national anthems here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Mid-Michigan K-9 Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan K-9 Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
Your active life depends on healthy muscles, bones, and joints. When pain arises, My Michigan Health is your go-to place. Our comprehensive musculoskeletal team offers the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatments and includes experts in specialized orthopedics and sports medicine. Whether your pain originates from your knee, hip, hand, elbow, shoulder, ankle, or foot, our experts can help. With more than 50 providers across 21 locations in central and northern Michigan, we're dedicated to keeping you active. Learn more at mymichigan.org/MSK.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Carroll, Croswell, and Seaboing factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today, the disability experts in your community.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland. Spirit Hockey
Harmer holds it out wide. Centers. Kluchek scores!
lives
Looking for the stretch pass to Zilkin. He'll pop off the wall and lay down for him. Zilkin scores!
here.
Picked up by Harmer. In with speed. Carson Harmer shoots. He scores! Carson Harmer!
The radio home of your Saginaw Spirit is WSGW 100.5 FM. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. Now it's game time. Live from the rink to your radio. Here is the first period play-by-play with the voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark.
To perform tonight's national anthems. Joining the band, tonight's veteran of the game, Richard Wetzel.
Valerie Lutheran High School Band and Choir with your national anthems here before this Sunday meeting between the Saginaw Spirit and the Guelph Storm. Guelph taking the first three matchups. We'll take a look at our starting goaltenders for tonight's game. Brought to you by NetSource One, the official technology provider of the Saginaw Spirit. Zachary Jovanovski backstopped the Storm to a 1-0 victory last night in Sault Ste. Marie. 38 saves for his first shutout of the season, second of his OHL career. Number 10 ranked goaltender in North America heading into this year's NHL draft, according to Central Scouting. This will be his 44th appearance on the season. 23 wins to his credit. Across the way, Caleb Papineau back in action here at the Dow Event Center for the first time in a while. 29 saves and a victory against the Sarnia Sting back on February the 13th. That was his second of the year. Appearance number 13 for the young man from Cochrane, Ontario. Stepan Shurigan is backup goaltender tonight. Your officials brought to you by WNEM TV5. Matt Manella and Kevin MacArthur, the referees, just as they were last night for Saginaw versus Sarnia. Justin Cornell and Joseph Erickson will work the lines here tonight. Saginaw, the home Navy Blues. Guelph, the traveling Whites. Dylan Clark alongside Jack Snevice. And Jack, we're not into playoff time yet. 10 games left for Saginaw on this schedule. Right now, they sit just 5 points behind the Guelph Storm, who want to be the next team to lock up a playoff spot in the OHL's Western Conference. 5 have already been claimed. This is when the games get about as big as they can in the regular season.
Absolutely, and we'd be remiss if we didn't mention big games around the hockey world today as USA with a big win to win the gold medal. Josh Bloom back in town. How fitting is that for Saginaw here tonight? And I'm very curious to see, as you heard from Coach Lazary pregame, about what this lineup's going to look like. There's a lot of accountability in that locker room in the battle for playoff positioning. When you got a goaltender like Jovanovski coming off the game he did last night. Very curious to see what things look like for Saginaw early on with really almost an entirely new lineup that we haven't seen yet this season.
Guelph controlled and fired it into the Spirit and off our Delta College opening faceoff. Nick Sima, or Caden Sienko, played a rather impressive check at open ice. Dima Jilkin squirts this one towards the net, and he goes heavily into the wall. And the puck is covered by the netminder, Zach Jovanovski. Jack alluded to some different-looking lineups here, and that is maybe an understatement. Saginaw had a hard time against the Sarnia Sting last night, found themselves down by a considerable margin going into the third period, and as he has not done too many times this year, Spirit head coach Chris Lazary threw the lines in a blender. The typical top group of Barabanov, Klepov, and Jilkin each had been split up and assigned to a different line, and those are still in effect here to start this game on this Sunday evening against the Guelph Storm, as Carson Harmer, who had 2 goals last night, trying to turn that one in deep.
And I would say this is the line for Saginaw I'm really going to keep an eye on. You're still trying to get Carson Harmer going this season. What an incredible job. What an incredible year he had a year ago. You have Nikita Klepov, who's been everywhere and more. Bodie Stewart was the big deadline acquisition, looking to get him a little bit more going offensively. This is going to be the line, listed as the third line, who I think is going to see a lot of runway for Coach Lazary here today.
Mikhailo Hoponenko into the right corner here for the Storm. Miedema will pull that puck out, and Leo Serlin, we highlighted him during the pregame show. 7 points in just 3 games against the Spirit here this season. He's going to try to pick the pocket of Levi Harper. This is Xander Valeris to chop it back around. Carson Harmer wants to finish the job. This puck back out at center, and it's the Pittsburgh Penguins prospect Quinn Beauchene, the anchor of this Guelph blue line, back here with Noah Jenkin. Stewart on the forecheck here for the Spirit. Barabanov will take his place as he goes to the bench. Jacob Kluche pressuring as well. This is up the right side for Carter Stevens, one of several players also on NHL Central Scouting's radar on this Guelph lineup. Barabanov up for Jacob Kluche now. Into the offensive end with Ryan Hanrahan. And the puck down the wall goes into the skates, then the stick of Stevens, and back the other way. This is Simon Belahorski. Tries to lower the shoulder on Barnes. Takes it to the net. First scoring opportunity of the game is off the pads of Papineau. A close call. Stevens gets it back again, rotating high in the offensive zone. His pass down low, foiled by Barabana, but he gets a rebound chance. It's picked up by Belahorski, sent into the net in the area of Caleb Papineau for a save and a cover. 2 minutes right on the dot gone in this first period.
Well, we just talked about Saginaw's third line and how interesting of a look they throw at you. How about the Guelph Storm, the 2027 Memorial Cup hosts, what they have on their third line? You saw the speed right there from Barahowski to get to the lane. You have Gallagher, you have Stevens, both projected second-round picks from NHL Central Scouting. This is a young Guelph team. This is a deep Guelph team. And so I think part of the thought process in splitting up the top line that has over 200 points in Barabanov, Klepov, and Jilkin is to try and better line match against the depth that the Storm have.
Parker Snellgrove wins a face-off. That shot from Patrick Babin sails wide on Papineau's blocker side. Braden Jones up to his captain, Jilkin. Pair of assists on Saturday night against the Sting. Frassard is back in the Guelph end and darts after a check from Popoy. He gets it back, throws it in front. Nobody in blue was there. Comes off tape, up to Braden Jones. Back underneath it goes. Jensen Geldart. 3 goals to his credit here in his OHL career. Sends it back up high for Caden Sienko. Now it's Dima Jilkin up the near side. Jones back over to Sienko. Shot gets turned in after it was fanned. A little trouble there for Popoy on the far wall, courtesy of Patrick Babin. And the Storm are out of danger. This will be lifted back in by Snellgrove. Braden Jones. Help from Caden Sienko. The Spirit have dressed 7 defensemen here in this game as they are without Josh Glavin and James Go. Sawyer Schmidt comes out from last night's lineup, and we'll see the OHL debut of Tyson Ackerman at some point here as this is fired back in by Brody Popoy. Line change for Saginaw. 3 and some change gone here in the first period. Guelph has the only shot in this game so far. Tyler Hopkins turns it onto the stick of Saginaw's Levi Harper. Pursues him deeper into Spirit territory. They'll fire it back out to center. Brent Spada returns the favor back in behind Caleb Papineau. Ilya Shabinski knocks shoulders there with the defenseman Xander Valeris. It goes back into the corner. Hopkins battled for it there with Harper. Barabanov comes on to help out. He jams it out of the corner for Liam Storch. Finds Levi Harper up the near side. 51 points in 57 games to lead rookie defenseman scoring. Najim shot shoveled wide past the glove hand side of Jovanovski. Brody Najim pursues it back in deep. 2 Storm players to him. Barabanov close by to try and help out. Grant Spada pulls it free, and this is on for Hopkins again. Shoulder there from Storch, and just getting an extra touch on it was Ilya Shabinski to clear things down here for an icing. 16:02 left in this first period.
Good look there from Najum. You saw the work of Levi Harper, just how good he has been. 51 points, tied third amongst all rookies and defensemen. Just another one of those young pieces, those very, very talented and offensively skilled pieces that Dave Drinkle has assembled here for Saginaw. Coach Lazary talked about in Coach's Corner just about how the goal was the 6th seed. It's a great measuring stick game for this team with 10 games to go. Looking for more from guys like Harper and
Here's
Klepov.
a chance for Klepov. Open net for Carson Harmer is tied up well. Another standout on the rookie scoring list. Jakob Wysick made sure that did not end up as a shot on goal. 4 players, the 3 players out of the top 10 in OHL rookie scoring in this game between Klepov, Wysick, and Levi Harper. Jenkins has this back behind the Guelph net. Ethan Meadham on the opposite end of the spectrum, the active games played leader in the OHL as this is turned back and behind the net of Papineau. Meadham pokes it after Carson Harmer. Jenkins fires it back around. Meadham there, tied up with Drew Roscoe. Harmer sweeps back in below the goal line. He's been moved back to his natural center position here tonight. Flips it into the offensive end. No icing, no offside, as Nikita Klepov was looking around to see where that puck would come down. Harmer throws it to the net. Save made, rebound chance. That's blocked on its way through. Third opportunity, and it's into the equipment of Jovanovski for a face-off.
Well, give him 50 straight saves now for Zachary Jovanovski. There is plenty to like about in his game. What poise, bouncing puck in front. Look at him. Doesn't even flinch when Nikita Klepov, all 32 goals from him this season, staring him down all alone with a high danger chance. Jovanovski positioned well, edge of the blue paint, makes it look easy. The 10th ranked Central Scouting goaltender for North American netminders in the midseason rankings. He is going to make some NHL team very, very happy one day, as he has with the Guelph Storm already this season.
Barabanov has to do some digging on the far side. He flips that puck off the wall. 41 in blue. That's Tyson Ackerman making his OHL debut here for Saginaw after being called up from the Kamoka Kings of the GOHL. Throws this puck back up the right side, looking for Jacob Klutche. Tries to shovel that one there for Igor Barabanov. He'll have to pursue Gallagher on the near side. Babin picks things back up here for the Storm. They go off the near boards again. Gallagher down the right side. Throws it in front. They score. Belahorski on the tap-in. Perfect pass. Perfect finish. 14:20 left in the first period. The Guelph Storm lead it 1-0.
I feel like we just got done talking about this third line of the Guelph Storm and just how good they are. What a pass that was from Gallagher. Fielded it nicely off the kick plate. One touch backhand right to the stick tape of Simon Belahorski. Second round pick of the import draft. His 9th on the season, and it's 1-0 Storm just like that.
Lane Gallagher, of course, one of the key pieces coming back over from the Brantford Bulldogs in that Jet Luchenko trade back on November the 24th. He lights the lamp for the Storm here in this Sunday evening contest. Storm will fire it back in behind Caleb Papineau, and there's a whistle and a stoppage for icing. 20 games now in a Guelph Storm uniform for Gallagher. 4 goals and 7 assists for 11 points. Faceoff comes all the way back into the offensive end. Top line is out here for the Spirit. And you see Levi Harper, their standout blue liner, a couple of assists last night against the Sting as well. As the Spirit got close, they made it 5-4 with a couple of goals at 6-on-5. Their net empty. The 2 empty netters against. 7-4. The Sarnia Sting skate to the victory there. Levi Harper back in behind his own net. Pape is taken into the wall by Dimas Jokin. Xander Valeris is on this. Got to make a quick decision here to Levi Harper. Jensen Geldart, one of his fellow rookies, gets it back. They toss it across the ice. Spade up. Moved into by Saginaw's Dimas Jokin, who continues to hound him for possession of that puck. He gets some help from Jensen Geldart, and Brody Papoy slides it back in front. Geldart's got to knock it out of the air behind his own back. And the Storm get it out to center ice. This is Valeris for Saginaw. Guelph tries to sneak a line change. Dimas Jokin snaps his shot with bodies headed towards the net. Geldart gets it back in front for Jokin. He scores! Great hands from Geldart to keep the play going. The Spirit captain ties the game at 1.
Well, first breakthrough from a new line for the Saginaw Spirit, and who else but your captain, his 31st of the season. What a play by Jensen Geldart, his first career OHL assist. Puck out in front, and a great job by Zhilkin to seal up the defender, get that inside position, and just get a stick on it right there over the glove hand of Jovanovski. That is a great response from the Spirit in a 1-1 hockey game, early first period.
Down the right side, the Storm want to get it back. Carson Harmer comes back with some speed and rolls right over Hopkins. Harmer pulls this puck out. He's got it to turn around the far side wall and behind the net. Look out, a giveaway. Another chance in front, too easy. Hopkins cashes in. Wysick slid him the puck. 13:02 left in the first period. The Storm have the lead again. It's 2-1.
What an answer by the Guelph Storm, Tyler Hopkins. Toronto Maple Leafs third-round pick. Not sure he's had one easier than that. Bad giveaway back in behind the net. And Jaakko Wysick. Great job getting to that puck. Diving play, pass across. You can see why the Guelph Storm love his game. That is all hustle right there. 33rd point on the season for the former number 2 overall pick, and a great finish from Hopkins. Guelph did not take long to take the lead right back.
Wysick ties Barry's Joe Salandra. Great place on the rookie scoring list. Not even 30 seconds after Saginaw gets back into the game. Now Nikita Klepov crashes into the boards below the Guelph goal line. Bodie Stewart comes away with the puck, turns it right into the slot, off a Guelph stick. Jones back down below the goal line, comes in front of the net. A sweeping chance. Goes off the netminder, Jovanovski. Back up to the right point. This is Caden Sienko. Carson Harmer from the corner. Leo Serlin off the boards for Miedema. Behind his own back where it's recovered by Jones at center. And deposited back in behind Jovanovski. Grant Spada. Back over to his counterpart, Patrick Babin. Another Brantford acquisition here for the Guelph Storm. This is back in behind the Saginaw net. Papineau let it go. May have tricked Xander Valeris there a little bit, but they move the puck to Graydon Jones. And the outlet pass is a shoot-in towards the Guelph end. It goes down for an icing, doesn't find its intended target. 11:57 here in the first period. We hit our first media timeout. We've already got 3 goals on the board. 2-1. Guelph's got the lead. We're back in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Get it all at Garber Chevrolet Saginaw. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall experience. Our expert technicians are factory trained to the highest standards, keeping your vehicle in top condition. And we have everything for your automotive needs, even tires. Get to Garber Chevy Saginaw today and see how you get it all at Garber, Gratiot Road, Saginaw. Online, GarberChevroletSaginaw.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Back inside the Dow Event Center, and a historic day. The United States wins gold at the Olympics in Italy. And Spirit alum Vincent Trocheck celebrates with his family. He's the second gold medalist in Saginaw Spirit history, following Ivan Telegin with the Olympic athletes from Russia back in 2018. First from the United States for the Spirit alum, whose number 89 hangs here in the rafters at the Dow Event Center. And there was a large contingent who felt that Trocheck might not have had a place on that roster as this goes down for an icing, but not a bad performance at all. Certainly had an impact in that hockey game. Finishes the Olympics with 3 assists in 6 games for Team USA.
It was really cool to hear him and JT Miller after the game talk about that, knowing that they were discussed as players who maybe shouldn't have had a role, and the pride they took in killing off all 18 penalties they faced in the entire Olympic run. Very cool moment for Trocheck. As you mentioned, partner, second Olympic gold medal winner from the Saginaw Spirit.
Here's a chance towards the net that's turned out by Papineau. Goes back and behind the Saginaw goal. Graydon Jones and around the far side. Would be remiss if we did not tip the cap to the medalists from the Guelph Storm alumni side of things, Drew Downey and Nick Suzuki. This puck pulled out of the corner here. McFadden at the right point. Storm in the driver's seat so far in this first period. 2-1. Nearly a chance there to make it 3. It's chopped down below the right corner here for Xander Valeris in the Spirit end. The pass shoveled across. Too far away from Graydon Jones. This is Belahorski, who got the scoring started in this hockey game with his 9th of the season. Around it comes to the near side. This is McFadden. Picked up away from Brody Nade's thrown in front. It gets through. Here's a chance in the circle. Maybe getting a piece of it was Papineau. Belahorski settles down at the line. Slides it there for Jenkin. The former London Knight sends it across again. McFadden passed through the seam. Gets to Belahorski, but not with possession. Saginaw knocks it to the boards. Jenkin puts it right back underneath. Jones the first man to it. Not out of the zone. Some help from Jensen Geldart. Storch just calmly sends it through the neutral zone. Saginaw getting a line change, and this is Jenkin down the right side. Throws it in front. Here's a chance just at the last second. Could not be slipped through the wickets of Papineau. Snellgrove had that on his backhand. Patrick Babin picks things up back and behind the Guelph net. Nearly halfway through this first period. Right onto the tape of Barabanov into the skates of Hanrahan. Doesn't know he's got it. A great save made by Jovanovski, and Jenkin hauls down Hanrahan. Jacob Pluche into the boards with pressure from Jenkin. 3 Storm players right to him. They'll win that puck battle and send it up the far wall. Here's Snellgrove waiting at the offensive blue line. Back into the skates looking for McKenzie. Mark Pape chases it back down against Saginaw's Drew Roscoe. Igor Barabanov has it there, and it's back up for Ryan Hanrahan. He's going to snap that puck in from center red. It hops over the stick of the goaltender Jovanovski in behind the net. Dimas Yilkin tries to cut off Hunter McKenzie as this is tossed back in. The Spirit captain has it up the right side. He'll shrug off Hopkins, and he'll attack 3 Storm defenders himself. Jacob Pluche recalculates here. Sends it back to Blake Barnes. Laid it up the far wall looking for Dimas Yilkin. That stops up and ends up in the bench for Sard. A little bit of an extra punch there for Jacob Pluche, who shakes the helmet off to make sure it's still properly attached.
Well, Ryan Hanrahan, boy, has he been snake bitten or something. He's going through it, the rookie first-round pick. So much talent in his game. He had about 3 or 4 chances similar to this one the other night against Sudbury. Right on his tape, and just getting a piece of it was Jovanovski. Just the 1 goal for Hanrahan this year, but you have to think for him, with how much talent he displays night in, night out, whenever he's able to get that second one, might open up the floodgates just a little bit. Of course, suffered the injury at the U17s, but there's a lot to like about his game that you have to feel like if you're a Spirit fan, good things are coming for him.
Credited with 2 high-danger scoring opportunities last night against the Sarnia Sting. This puck now in the corner. His former line mate Jensen Geldart has got an assist in this hockey game. They'll try to poke this puck out. Hopkins on it for the Storm. Blake Barnes rescues. Out in the neutral zone for Caden Sienko. Ramps back in. Dimas Yilkin. Now that'll send Jensen Geldart after it. Trying to pick Beauchene's pocket. Ilya Shabinski now. Conley back. Grant Spada up for Jaakko Wysick. Blows past Sienko down the wall, but Sienko, little stick lift. Wysick slides to the wall. Play continues as it drifts in towards the goaltender. There's no icing. Jovanovski was a little confused on what the ruling would have been. Beauchene sets up back and behind the goal line. Now it's Leo Serlin again. Down the right wing with speed. Flips it off the wall to get around Valeris. The linesman in the way there. Levi Harper takes a check, moves the puck to Carson Harmer. Backhanded through the air. Skips onto the stick of Miedema, sent down low, intercepted again by Levi Harper, and quickly moves things into the neutral zone. The pass was too far behind Nikita Klepov, drifting in on the goaltender, Jovanovski, and as Klepov did what he could to hop around Will McFadden, nearly had a lane to the net, but the puck just drifted a little bit faster than he could.
Well, little plays like that sometimes make an impact. We'll see how the offensive zone faceoff goes here, but you get a fortunate bounce off the kick plate. Klepov did a nice job of getting the coverage because there's always a chance that goes wide for icing. Sometimes it's little plays like that that can get you going when you're a team that just hasn't really been able to click in the last couple of weeks. Keep doing the little things right, and generally you'll be rewarded.
Saginaw's fallen in 3 of their last 4 contests. Serlin's going to get booted from the draw here. It's been a productive month of February. Storm have won 6 of 9 in this calendar month, 3 of their last 5. And, of course, 3 in a row after that shutout against the Sioux Greyhounds. Especially this time of year, you're not going to see too many 1-0 shutouts. And it took until all the way in the third period for Tyler Hopkins to break through with a power play goal. This goes down for an icing down in Caleb Papineau's neck of the woods. 7:55 to go in this first period. We'll do the whole thing over again.
Well, not only this time of year, but the OHL as a whole. 1-0 games hard to come by. You think about what Saginaw played just last night, 7-4 contest. Feels like you see a lot more of those than the 1-0 game. That's the credit to Jovanovski and the Storm defense as well. Timely goal scoring from Hopkins. Now trying to extend their win streak to 4 and end the weekend with what would be a bang in the Western Conference.
Xander Valeris on this puck at center. Goes back in past him, and so Nikita Klepov thrown into the boards by Miedema. Caleb Papineau just had a goal stick on that centering pass to disrupt. Gets another chance. Kick towards the net. Papineau sprawling. Surrounded by blue jerseys, and Harmer will fire it off the glass. Another close call back in the Spirit end. More chaos. As this is McFadden. Back in the Guelph zone, up into the skates of Serlin. 2 forecheckers after him. Harmer steals, throws it in front. Klepov shoots and scores! 2 forecheckers. The answer there for Saginaw. Klepov finishes the job. The game is tied at 2.
Well, we just talked about Nikita Klepov doing the little things right, and generally you'll be rewarded. Sometimes it's that quick. It was a great job on the forecheck, benefit of a bouncing puck, and a bad clearing attempt. Harmer with a great feed back to Klepov. Knew exactly where to put it. Goal number 33, for Klepov on the season. 79 points as well, and a great answer from the Spirit to tie things up at 2.
Puck tossed in by Barabanov. Typically enjoyed quite a bit of success with Nikita Klepov. But with that kind of a breakthrough, already showing some chemistry with Carson Harmer. Tyson Ackerman gets turned around here. This puck up high goes over the skate of Spada. And as Nathan Aspinall picked up an assist, and still counting, of course, the Flint Firebirds are still in action. And Klepov has scored a goal. They're tied once again for the OHL scoring lead with 79 points as this goes down for an icing. 6:50 here in this first period. And Jack, that line, Carson Harmer, Bodie Stewart, Nikita Klepov on the official lineup sheet. It's Saginaw's third line, quote unquote, but that was the one that you tabbed at the start of the game as one to keep an eye on.
Well, both third lines have probably been each team's best. And how about for Coach Lazary so far? You mix the lines up almost entirely, and 2 of your top 3 reward you with goals already in this first period. Lot to like right now for Saginaw, but the Storm, as we know, have a tendency to respond.
Barabanov cuts off what could have been a dangerous pass in front for Blaine Gallagher. Igor Barabanov throws a bouncing puck that can't be settled down by Jacob Klukshik. Quinn Beauchesne dumps it off for Gallagher. All 3 Spirit forwards were at or below the top of the circles there. Stevens hit by Roscoe. Belahorski is taken down just over the Saginaw blue line, but it was the stick of Drew Roscoe they'll say has caused it. Saginaw to their first Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill in this game. Roscoe to the penalty box.
First power play of the game for either side. You see right there, the stick right between the legs of Barahowski. Well, something's got to give. 20th ranked penalty kill in the OHL for the Saginaw Spirit. 18th best power play. So a couple of struggling units coming into this game, but a really good opportunity for the Storm to take the lead back. They've won 13 of 17 faceoffs now here tonight.
Down to the goal line. They work it back behind the Spirit net. Valeris tries to get it out of danger. Serlin from the corner. Fumbled but recovered. McFadden gives it back to Serlin. Brought a couple of penalty killers with him for a second. A one-timer by Hopkins is turned out by Caleb Papineau, and Blake Barnes will clear. Precious time coming off the clock here in Guelph's first power play opportunity. Saginaw saw 3 Sting power play goals in 4 opportunities last night. Big part of what was ailing them in a 7-4 loss. This is Leo Serlin in here for the Storm. Of course, as we mentioned, their only goal last night in that win against the Sioux was on the power play. Chance in front, sent wide by Miedema. Grade A opportunity right in the blue paint. It's up the far wall. Carson Harmer trying to bowl over McFadden. Just be swatted back out the center by Klepov. He and Valeris sneak off. Hopkins down the right side for the Storm. Miedema, bouncing puck alone in front, and a fortunate break for the Spirit, but still Papineau swimming. The puck is under him somewhere. They get a whistle. 5:16 here in the first, 57 seconds left on the Drew Roscoe penalty, and we have seen some opportunities just come out of strange bounces and miscues at both ends of the ice so far. We're not even 20 minutes into this game.
Well, you've seen 2 goals result from it. It's just poor management of the puck in your own end almost, for lack of a better term. Just some weird bounces seem to be catching the defenders off guard. 3 plays for the offense in front of the net. Great job by Papineau to answer there and stand tall.
Storm win another face-off here on the power play. Ilya Shabinski controls and returns that to Jenkins. Carson Harmer wants to force the issue. Spirit penalty kill is aggressive at the top of the formation. That goes off the shaft of Caleb Papineau's stick above the blocker. Shabinski throws it in front. Another jam play. That's a pad save by Papineau. They're trying to dig it out. Wysick almost blew a tire, recovers and throws the puck back to Jenkins. Walking the blue line. Takes a look, doesn't like what he sees, so now it's Jaakko Wysick. The return for Jenkins. Long range one-timer saved by Papineau. Puck is loose. That one ends up in the near corner, chopped away by Graydon Jones, but kept alive by Jenkins. So Jones again, and this time gets the job done.
Well, great work by the Saginaw penalty killer so far. You need your best penalty killer to be your netminder. Papineau stood tall, and the Spirit did a nice job responding and clearing those loose pucks out of harm's way.
Eric Froussard from behind the Guelph net. Roscoe's out of the penalty box. Nearly caught Babin by surprise. This will be batted into the offensive zone by Guelph's McKenzie. Valeris goes crashing into the wall as Parker Snellgrove was in his back pocket. Long shot to the net, easily stopped and reeled in by Caleb Papineau. More of a discussion after. Levi Harper sticking up for his defensive partner, Xander Valeris. But nothing more results from that. 4:06 here in the first period. 2-2 the score. We'll take a break. Back after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about, questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Ryan Coe to create your personal price plan today.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Back inside the Dow Event Center, even score here. 4:06 left in the first period. 2-2 between the Saginaw Spirit and the Guelph Storm. Saginaw just recently overcoming one of the early challenges in this hockey game, the tripping call to Drew Roscoe. One of quite a few youngsters on the back end here for the Spirit. 5 out of the 7 defensemen would qualify by games played as rookies in the Ontario Hockey League. Again, no Glavin or go. As McKenzie's shot gets redirected up and out of play. 4:03 left in this first period.
Well, faceoffs are quickly becoming a big story in this hockey game. That's now 15-4 advantage for the Guelph Storm. And a big reason they're almost doubling up Saginaw in shot departments is because offensive zone draws like this. And now you have Snellgrove in there. 5th best percentage in the OHL for him. He wins another.
Froussard's shot goes off Carson Harmer. Kept alive by Snellgrove. Underneath it goes. Valeris has to get there before McKenzie. They get tied up with a stick. 2 against 2 in the trapezoid. It's a small area there. Mark Pape comes away with it. Gets wrapped up by Harmer. Babin throws it back down into the corner. Here's Snellgrove again. Pushed into the boards by Levi Harper. Snellgrove escapes. Now to the far corner. Fan on that pass in front. Does get it through. Off more bodies. A little bit of a pop there for Levi Harper, and he has picked up a penalty. Slashing will be the call. 3.5 left in the first, and it'll be another Stormaster Exteriors penalty kill for the Spirit, though Bodie Stewart's the one that's been tagged on this.
Yeah, it just feels like Saginaw's been hemmed into their own zone a little bit. Penalties like that are going to come when you spend a couple of minutes almost, it feels like, right in front of your own netminder. You can see right there, knocks the stick clean out of his hands. McKenzie drawing the call for the Storm. So, couple of looks on that power play. Spirit did a good job of clearing the loose pucks, but a lot of dangerous chances for the Storm. Now their second opportunity trying to reclaim the lead here late in the first period.
Beauchene at the center point. It's the return pass. McFadden. Then Beauchene to Serlin. Around for Hopkins. Off the boards. Does not find Beauchene. So Barabanov and Kluche will rescue. 2 against 2. The drop pass is picked up by Kluche, but good back pressure there from Hopkins. Kluche with a little swat at the stick. And be careful not to meet the same fate as Bodie Stewart. This is Serlin. Down the left wing here for the Storm. 0 for 1 on their only power play chance so far in this game. Beauchene into traffic, blockered out of danger by Papineau, and calmly fired down the ice by Igor Barabanov.
Got to think for Caleb Papineau. Hasn't seen a whole lot of action this year, but the confidence is growing maybe a little bit in net. He's done a really nice job weathering the storm the last few minutes, for lack of a better term.
With Beauchene down the right side. It's hard not to fall into that trap every once in a while.
Always hard.
Beauchene from the point. This one ends up rink wide and bounces out to neutral ice. Stolen here by Zhilkin, but getting one last second touch on it was Hopkins. He's going to put it right back onto the tape of the Spirit captain, though. Zhilkin sends it back in deep. Zach Jovanovski out of his net to play it. Dima Zhilkin will let him be here for now. Sienko, Hanrahan, and Graydon Jones, the other penalty killers here with the Spirit captain. Jenkins is out. Drops it back. Ilya Shabinski back and forth with Wysick. They kick it out wide for Belahorski. Back up to the left point. This is Jenkins. On through for Stevens. Quick pass. Back over. Pulled in by Wysick. Zhilkin pressures him. Jenkins keeps the puck alive. 20 seconds on the Guelph power play. Ryan Hanrahan trying to get his money's worth out of Jenkins here. Hanrahan will pull the puck to the boards. Jenkins closes him off. Storm have it. Near side, Shabinski. Head fake to try and get around Dima Zhilkin. They go to the wall. More time comes off the clock, and Zhilkin hard around the wall. And out the other side, that'll do it for that Spirit Storm Masters exteriors penalty kill.
2 really good kills for Saginaw in this game. They have not had the shots and the offensive opportunities, but since tying this game, they've done a much better job in their own end, getting the loose pucks, getting things out of harm's way. You have to think, again, the little things. They're doing it right, and maybe it leads to something at the other end here in the final 1:10 of this first period.
Brody Popoy up through center. Belahorski put that one onto the stick of Stevens. Now it's Babbitt. Angled back in by Lane Gallagher. Xander Valeris from the corner to Levi Harper. Brody Popoy wanted to make a quick move there. The Storm intercepts, so Saginaw's got to do it again. Popoy will get another opportunity. Babbitt comes over to him. Ran out of time. Gallagher back over. Grant Spada turns it back down and around. Papineau, a little trouble in behind the net. Look out. It's a gift for Gallagher. Some help from Levi Harper. That could have been a simple centering pass. And everybody takes a sigh of relief on the Spirit bench. Brody Najim rolls right through Grant Spada. Jensen Geldart can't poke that puck any further, so Spada's going to return the favor on Najim. Brody Popoy flicks a backhanded pass that finds Guelph's McKenzie instead. Blake Barnes trying to draw in Haponenko. Harper up for Bodie Stewart. Harmer was waiting. His patience might have paid off to stay onside. That backhanded pass does not get up cleanly to the top of the zone. Parker Snellgrove runs out of time, as does the first period. 12 shots to 6. The Storm have the advantage through 20 minutes. 2 goals aside. Saginaw and Guelph going to the first intermission even. Josh Bloom, a hero in Saginaw, has been recognized prior to the game. We'll take a break. When we come back, the hero of the 2024 Memorial Cup joins us down from ice level. We'll catch up with Josh Bloom in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Chevrolet in Linwood. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience that will keep you coming back. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see us. Get a better overall experience and lease for less in Linwood. Garber Chevrolet Linwood, M13, north of Bay City. Online, garberlinwood.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go Spirit!
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Saginaw Community Foundation also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
WSGW is keeping you connected with the Great Lakes Bay region and the world. Tune in to quality local shows. Mihinte on Air, United Shades of Gray, That's What She Said, Generating Gratitude, and Hey, Great Lakes Bay. Saturday mornings until 9 and Sunday afternoons at 4, or anytime on your favorite podcasting app. Great Lakes Bay Connections. Local voices, local stories, local people. Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Guelph Storm, and you'll not see a more famous goal in this building than that one. Josh Bloom with 21.7 seconds. Becomes an icon in Saginaw Spirit history and helps them win the 2024 Memorial Cup. And for the first time in a long time, glad to say that Josh Bloom joins us down from ice level. Josh, great to see you again. Thanks for being with us. If you can, what's the feeling walking back out onto the ice surface here at the Dow Event Center for the first time since that night?
Yeah, very cool. Brings back a ton of great memories, not just from that 24 year, but throughout my 5 years here. And it's always be a special place for me, and forever champions, baby.
And for that season, again, we've talked about the story, traded away in 2022-23, come back as a free agent here to kind of complete the storybook. As the years have gone on, has that kind of storybook aspect of it, has that sunk in a little bit more for you, and as the years continue to go by?
Yeah, I think the way it played out, you couldn't write it any better, and you said it best in your call of that game. So, you know what, that year doesn't happen with everybody in this organization. It doesn't happen with the fans in this building and everything that happens behind the scenes. So, shout out to the organization for making that a reality, and then the rest is storybook.
And for yourself, obviously the journey continues between Abbotsford and the American Hockey League, Kalamazoo and the ECHL. How's the adjustment been to pro hockey here for you now in your second season?
Yeah, it's been good. Day by day, getting better, and that's all you can do, right? Just trying to put my best foot forward day in and day out, and becoming the best version of myself.
And in those games between the American League, between the ECHL, every once in a while you're going to cross paths with a fellow former OHL. Are there some Spirit teammates that have you crossed paths with any other guys from that 24 team in the pro ranks recently?
Yeah, me and Hash played about a month back, so we went out for dinner before the game, and always great seeing him. So obviously a captain here and somebody very special to this organization. So yeah, always fun playing against the old teammates there.
And for some people that might not know, obviously you were the captain of this hockey club at that point in 2022. When you come back, Braden Hache wore the C. You slid into an alternate captain's letter. What was that dynamic for? Because it's such a unique situation when a former captain returns.
Yeah, it was definitely a unique situation, and I don't know if I would have rather done it with anybody else. Hash is such a phenomenal leader in his own way, and I think we gelled off each other exceptionally well and helped lead this team to be eventual champions.
Well, Josh, thanks for taking the time to sit down here with us. Great to see you again. I know the fans appreciate it as well, and good luck the rest of the season.
Awesome, thanks.
Josh Bloom here inside the Dow Event Center, being honored and celebrated. It's a 2-2 hockey game right now here between the Saginaw Spirit and the Guelph Storm. We'll take a break. Jack Snevice will rejoin us. Highlights and analysis. A lot to talk about from that first period. We're back after this here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
So we're finally ready to plan for retirement, but who do we trust?
Our friend said TriStar Trust.
They've been here for 25 years right here in our community, and they'll be here for the next 25.
That's the kind of team I want in my corner.
TriStar Trust helps you plan your retirement, manage your investments, and build the future you've been dreaming of. Because when it comes to your goals, it's your time to shine. Visit TriStarTrust.com.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails, or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Mike Miner to create your personal price plan today.
It's time for your intermission report from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Here's Dylan Clark.
Goals evenly distributed between these two clubs. It's been a great road trip here for the Guelph Storm. Simon Belahorski got things started early on to make sure that continued to be the case. Just 6 minutes into this hockey game, Lane Gallagher and Eric Frossard pick up the helpers on his 9th goal of the season. But the Spirit captain, as he's often done, comes up at a big time. Great feed in front from Jensen Geldart, showing off the hands, the reason why Saginaw drafted him in the 4th round this year. But it's the Spirit captain who gets it done with goal number 31 on the season. Giveaways in behind the net. Great effort from Jaakko Wysick. The youngsters have been a theme here in this hockey game, but a bit more of an experienced player in Toronto's Tyler Hopkins to give Guelph back the 2-1 lead. And Nikita Klepov has retied Nathan Aspinall for the league lead in point getting with 79 of them on the season. 98 has put Saginaw back even here at the end of 20 minutes. First intermission stats brought to you by Raymond. The heavy shot advantage for the Guelph Storm, 0 for 2 on the power play, and an even score here. We bring it back up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Dylan Clark, Jack Snevice, and Jack, 2 power play chances for the Guelph Storm. Unsuccessful. They get some good saves from Caleb Papineau, but the puck just bouncing around. It's been a bit of a hard first period, I think, for everybody to maybe keep track of.
Yeah, we saw that on 2 of the goals as well, right? Just some pucks that hopped up on the stick of the defenseman in their own end and led to giveaways right in front and made for easy goals from there. So not sure, these weekends can always bounce one way or another, these Sunday games after the long weekend. Guelph Storm coming off the win streak they're on, the road trip they're on. Saginaw's been home for 3 days, which sometimes you can have a tendency to just maybe get a little comfortable. And you never know with these Sunday afternoon games. But I like the way both teams are playing. I think it's been more good hockey than bad, as weird as that might sound, where you've had a couple of bounces, but you got 11 different point scorers in this game, right? You had a couple of big-time saves from both Papineau and Jovanovski. You've seen a couple of hits. It's been clean hockey for the most part, which makes it even more fun when you got 40 more minutes of this and we're tied at 2.
One of the rookies that we've talked about a lot, obviously, on the Saginaw side of things, Nikita Klepov. We touched on Jensen Geldart. On the other hand, had been building some momentum recently. You mentioned the chances coming for Hanrahan, manufacturing a lot of really good chances on his own. The finishing not quite there. Geldart picks up an assist, and that wasn't a simple, it's your first season in the OHL assist. Some nice hands showcased there by 95 on the Dimas Jilkin goal.
And what a way to get your first assist, right, in the OHL. I mean, he's almost played 40 games now. So it's little plays like that you start to see, and it's probably cool, really cool for you to watch. Saginaw fans at home who followed this team all season long, watched every game, been in every game, where you can see these guys make strides, right? Hanrahan is all over the place with the puck. You obviously have Klepov, Barabanov, and Chilkin. Well, now you split them up, and all of a sudden you got some young guys you can try and get going as well. You can try and get Kluche and Harmer going. Harmer obviously had the nice play on the second goal there. So when you have a lineup that you're just trying to figure out, okay, where can these guys fit in? Such a young team, such high aspirations for next year and the year after. You're looking to get guys going, get some sparks, get some confidence going into some of their sophomore and junior years. And guys like Geldart, guys like Hanrahan, playing with players like Zhilkin and Barabanov can lead to some success, more than just in the stat sheet, but in the development of their game as well.
On the Guelph side of things, 12 shots in that first period. They find the back of the net twice, and even when they didn't, some chaos was created, more so in front of the Spirit net than back down at the other end. Is there anything they're looking to tweak in the second?
I don't think so. I mean, you're doubling up in shots, right? You're dominating the face-off die. You're winning all the little battles right now. You got a hot goaltender, which I think they can, kind of fight their way through with how deep of a team they really are. And, it's kind of similar story for them. Their third line has been incredible. And you look at the outlook this team has for not only the Memorial Cup next year, but the year after that, and just how good they are 1 through 18. I don't think there's a whole lot to change if you're Guelph. You've done all the things right to this point. It's 2-2 games. Sometimes that's just how the puck bounces. But if they stick to their game plan, you got to feel pretty good if you're a Storm fan and player heading into the Final 40.
Even game, 2-2. A lot of positives on both sides of things. We'll take a break and we'll check in briefly around the rest of the OHL. Your out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Coming up in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
Hi, this is Brody Najum, and you are listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Scoreboard brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings here on a Sunday evening in the Ontario Hockey League. The London Knights, a 4-2 victory over the Sudbury Wolves on home ice. They scored 4 unanswered to go up 4-0. Braden Bennett and Artem Gonchar made things a little bit interesting for the Sudbury Wolves, but 3-point night from Cohen Bidgood, 2 points from Jackson Culver and Will Nickel. And the London Knights ride to another victory. They've already locked up that 5th playoff spot in the OHL's Western Conference. 4-3, the Peterborough Pete's in overtime over the Brantford Bulldogs. Game winner, his second of the game on the power play. Adam Novotny hits the 30-goal mark. Peterborough, a little bit of an upset there on the Brantford Bulldogs. 4-2, the North Bay Battalion, former employer, if you will, of the Spirits, Josh Bloom, who we just spoke with. That's where the trade ended up. 4-2 over the Ottawa 67s. Jack Lisson, first star of that hockey game. The goaltender stopped 41 out of 43. Flint and Windsor, the Firebirds, up 2-1 at the WFCU Center. Nathan Aspinall has the assist. He and Klepov even for the league scoring race. Jacob Battaglia and Jimmy Lombardi, the Flint goals. Jack Nesbitt has one back the other way for the Windsor Spitfires. And a 1-0 lead for the Kingston Frontenacs. Lucas Moore over the Oshawa Generals. And, of course, earlier today, the United States gold medal over Canada in men's hockey at the Olympics. 2-2 here between the Spirit and the Guelph Storm. We get set for the middle frame. Can we find an advantage? Coming up in a moment here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today, the disability experts in your community.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at GarberChesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie now has 2 buzzing locations to enjoy. Visit us in downtown Frankenmuth or in uptown Bay City. We offer a full bar, menu, and memorable atmosphere. Walk-ins are always welcome, and Bay City is now accepting reservations online at prostwinebar.com. Open 7 days a week. Make Prost Wine Bar in Frankenmuth or uptown Bay City your destination for great wine and even better times.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go Spirit!
The Art Lewis Show.
We don't spend every day, every minute of the show doing just politics. There's so many other things we have to tackle. Local issues, local people, and that's what makes it interesting. The same thing over and over again. We'd all get real bored in a hurry. We get political discussions, they can get heated, but it's not the only thing in life. For some people it is. I feel sorry for them. I'm missing a lot.
The Art Lewis Show. Weekday mornings at 9 on WSGW. Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
At the Dow Event Center, the start of the second period, the Saginaw Spirit and the Guelph Storm. Visitors, the 12-6 shot advantage in the first period. No carryover penalties or power plays. Saginaw moves left to right, but the Guelph Storm control the puck here to start the second period. And they'll fire it back down for an icing, so that'll only cost us 7 seconds off the clock here in the second period.
Second period, always something to look out for is the benches being on the opposite sides of the offensive zone. Usually one team can get an advantage, and a couple of times every middle frame, you'll hem the other team in for an extended period of time with that long change. So keep an eye on that as this period progresses in a tie game.
Collision in the corner between both Shane and the Spirit captain, Jilkin. Puck settled down by Graydon Jones. Hits the captain in the pants on the way on through, and he'll turn it back in behind the Guelph goal. And there's Denson Geldart again. Works the puck out. Brody Papoy shovels it towards the net, poked wide. Jilkin and Papoy throw the body around. Slick mitts there from Brody Papoy to keep the offensive possession alive. This is Caden Sienko, a shot into traffic. Save made. Rebound corralled by Papoy. Delayed penalty coming against the Storm. There goes Papineau. Extra attacker coming for Saginaw. Dimas Jilkin back in the corner. It's a 6 against 5 for the moment. Klepov down into the corner for Graydon Jones. Papoy again. Poked away by Jaco Wysick. Klepov will pursue. Wysick to force the issue. You don't want to burn too much gas, says Nikita Klepov, because there is a power play coming unless they find the back of the net here. Saginaw scored twice at 6-on-5 last night against the Sarnia Sting. Dimas Jilkin gets after this puck first, but it will end on the stick of Mikhailo Hoponenko, and the Saginaw Spirit will head to their first IBEW Local 557 power play of this game.
Well, there you go. That was almost 40 seconds in the offensive end for Saginaw. Guelph was able to get a change out of it. It's kind of funny because I thought the initial play that started that whole sequence, as we take another look at the Sienko shot, might have been off sides of the blue line, was Jilkin entering the zone. Obviously wasn't called, and you can't review it now. So one thing leads to another, and Saginaw heads to a power play as we take another look. Sienko, that puck had a little bit more to it than Jovanovski probably would have liked, but he made a great job with the right pad save. Now Guelph penalty killers for the first time in this one.
Quinn Beauchene in the Guelph penalty box on a slashing call. Caleb Papineau to knock it down with the goal stick. Talked about Saginaw's penalty killing struggles, but the power play seems to be doing just fine here. 6th best in the league. They found a couple of power play markers last night. This is Klepov. He's out with Harper, Barabanov, and Kluche. Klepov for Zilkin. Fires that one that goes off the stick of Babin and into the glass. This one that comes on the far wall. There's Zilkin again. Walking towards the middle. Finds his friend Klepov in his favorite spot on the ice, that right wing circle. Barabanov off the boards up high. Down low, this is Klepov again. They'll rotate spots. Barabanov goal line, Klepov circle. Waits and throws it on through the Harper one-timer. Gets blocked on its way there by Hunter McKenzie. Klepov's got it again. 50 seconds gone on the power play. This is Barabanov drifting in. Goal line, Klepov, jam play, save, make, they score on the rebound. Jacob Kluche, power play goals in back-to-back games, and Saginaw jumps in front for the first time tonight.
This is film you're definitely going to want to study if you're the Saginaw Spirit. This was a clinic for almost a full minute in the offensive end. Guelph never even came close to touching the puck, and what they do, got the defense moving enough that allowed Klepov to go for the jam play, and then a fortunate bounce right off the pillows of Jovanovski right to the stick of Kluche, who was there to jam at home for his 15th of the season, and for Jacob Kluche. Give him now 4 points on the weekend. That is a big lift for the 7th-round pick from the Winnipeg Jets. They need him to get going and get back to where he was from a season ago, and that is a great way to round out his weekend so far.
McFadden tries the centering feed, comes out the other side. Klepov and Barabanov pick up the assists on the Jacob Kluche power play goal. Zachary Jovanovski tried to turn that out from in behind the net. He ends up making a pad save after the puck came up to the right point. Now a bank pass off the wall. This is Carter Stevens in against Papineau, looking right in front, but could not find Gallagher. So Carson Harmer back the other way, gets it back after it was poked at by Jenkin. Stevens drops it off, and here's more speed for Gallagher as he blows past Barnes towards the net, tied up. Save made by Papineau, and Roscoe rescues it out of midair. Two bodies aside, battle for that puck in behind the goal line. What a sequence here. Just past the 3-minute mark of the second period. Beauchene back in. Harmer takes care of business off the end wall. The Storm not done yet. Kept alive by Sabinski. On the far boards. Pulled off the wall. They'll turn near side. This is Beauchene. Walks in. Snaps a shot. He scores. Quinn Beauchene up over the glove of Papineau. 16:37 to go in the second period. The game is tied at 3.
Only fitting this game becomes tied again, because that's how it's felt all night long. And the former 2023 first-round pick, Pittsburgh Penguins draft pick, with an absolute rip high to the glove side to beat Caleb Papineau. Look at all that room as he walks right into the dot. Perfectly placed snapshot goal. 7th of the year for Beauchene. I don't know about you, partner, but it certainly feels like we got a fun hockey game on our hands here this afternoon.
Well, you know what? 23 seconds after Zilkin scores to make it 1-1, Tyler Hopkins scores. About a minute, 20 seconds after Kluche. Beauchene puts one in the back of the net. Anything you can do, I can do better is the theme here in this Sunday afternoon game. Sunday evening is Gelnar's going to try to throw it in front. And the Spirit want to get this one right back. There's Beauchene again for Hopkins. Wysick finds Grant Spada. Stretching at the line, Ilya Zhabinski gets around Levi Harper, but can't hang on to that puck. He'll shrug off Harper back below the goal line. At the right point, Beauchene for Spada. Return pass, Beauchene, the most recent goal scorer, fires that one off Zilkin. Might have been the only one who knew where that puck was, but he can't get to it. Valeris will give it to him, though. And Brody Popoy, all he can do is fire it back into the glove of Jovanovski. And he drops it back off here for Beauchene. Ethan Miedema. Off the stick of Kluche. Jaco Wysick gives it back to Miedema. Heads right to the net. That one shut down by Papineau with the pad. Miedema picks himself back up in the corner. Jacob Kluche leads the counterattack for the Spirit. Barabanov turned away at the line. Delayed penalty coming. It ricochets off some skates. Caden Sienko touches it. It'll be against the Guelph Storm. Well, the penalty. The Spirit bench is hollering for Papineau. He doesn't know what's going on here. They will finally blow things down at neutral ice. 15-19 here in the second. Saginaw is going to head back to the power play on a holding call.
Yeah, Jacob did a really good job playing his position there, but he got the arm extended. it's going to be McFadden who goes. Just enough to slow down Barabanov. You can see right there that free left hand. Right in direct eye contact with the official. Saw a great-looking power play earlier this period for Saginaw. Excited to see them go back to work here in a 3-3 game now.
Spirit went 2 for 2 on the power play last night. They're 1 for 1 right now. Second IBW Local 557 chance. Here's Harper for Klepov. Back to Barabanov. Things looking familiar. That bounces off the corner wall. Barabanov not being pressured. The Storm will let the Spirit have the perimeter. Klepov wanted to go through the seam. That's exactly why. They'll knock that down and get it out of danger. Papineau to settle it down. Short pass for Levi Harper. Tyler Hopkins out on this PK with Ilya Shabinski. Quinn Beauchesne and Grant Spada as the Spirit fired back around. Beauchesne gets there first. Good work on the wall to pull that puck away from Nikita Klepov.
Very nice play by Beauchesne. He made that look really easy. That's a tough puck to reach for and make a play on, and he did a great job killing more time here for the Storm.
Just about halfway through Saginaw's second power play, Barabanov cuts laterally across the zone, gets the puck back off the wall and finds Levi Harper. Near side, Klepov. Patiently with his back to the boards, walks towards the middle. Does not want to go to Barabanov. He'll find Harper instead. The return pass. Klepov wanted the one-timers on his backhand. The bumper in front. Zilkin shut down. Great play. They score. Barabanov picks up the loose chains. It's another power play goal through the wickets of Jovanovski this time. 14:05 in the second period. And Saginaw's ahead 4-3.
Barabanov, Klepov, and Zilkin might be forcing Coach Lazary's hand. Each of them with a goal in the first game. The three of them get split up. It's another power play goal this time. Just a fortunate break as Zilkin fanned on the shot, but it ended up right on the stick of Barabanov, who opened up Jovanovski just enough to sneak it through the 5-hole. 2 for 2 on the power play now. They only had the lead for a minute and 16 seconds before. Let's see how Saginaw responds now with the lead once again.
Four goals on 10 shots to start this game here for the Spirit. Brody Stewart settles it down. Valeris up the far wall looking for Brody Najim. Spirit bench began to duck for cover. They thought that puck was coming their way. Here's Gallagher, gets tripped up by Valeris. This will be a penalty back the other way unless it ends up in the back of the net, and that's exactly what happens. Gallagher jams it home. It goes off the pad of Papineau. Or maybe not. They'll say as it was touched by Saginaw. The result is a tripping penalty. So a bit of a misfire there. It will be a Guelph Storm power play. 13:35 to go here in this second period. It stays a 4-3 Spirit lead. We'll take a break. We might have some more information for you when we come back here in a moment. Back in a second on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Garber Buick is America's oldest Buick dealership. Our factory-trained service technicians deliver precision care to keep your vehicle performing at its best. We also have an award-winning body shop. We even sell parts and tires. You truly get it all at Garber Buick. Better service, better selection, and better prices. Garber Buick, State Street in Saginaw. Online, garberbuick.com. Buick, exceptional by design.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
This is Drew Roscoe, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Back inside the Dow Event Center. The score in the building is 4-3 for the moment. This was on a delayed penalty. Lane Gallagher tried to jam things in on this right side goal post against the Spirit netminder Caleb Papineau. He does not touch the puck with his stick there, and it is lost right inside the post between the boot of Papineau, and we don't see it reappear until it comes out from under his blocker.
This is going to be interesting. This is the angle where I thought you could see it sneak its way in.
He does keep that out.
Is it hard to tell? It looked like it potentially just held onto the goal line there. And that is the official call, so nothing conclusive enough. Somehow, some way, the Storm still head to a power play, but what an individual effort there by Papineau to keep it a 1-goal lead.
They took the extra look at it during that media timeout, and that's a fantastic save by Papineau, but the Storm on the power play shot gets knocked down in front. And the rebound is corralled and sent down the length of the ice by Ryan Hanrahan. Xander Valeris is in the Saginaw penalty box, their third Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill tonight for tripping. Hopkins leads the charge back in. Miedema down the wing. Cutting towards the middle. Beauchene casually dusts it off. Nice little behind the back drop. McFadden for Beauchene. That pass was read by Saginaw's Hanrahan. Can't get it out of the zone, however. Leo Serlin keeps things alive. He drifts underneath the goal line. For McFadden. Beauchene, McFadden again. To the circle. Shot in towards the goaltender is off of Papineau's stick and out of play. 1:13 left on the man advantage here for the Storm.
Well, and here you go. Ryan Hanrahan being thrusted into a penalty-killing role now. Just, again, continuing to show his progression, even if it isn't showing up on the stat sheet. But it was a veteran move right there by Tyler Hopkins. Hanrahan made the nice play initially, blocked the shot, was ready to clear and loaded up just a second too long. Hopkins kept that one in the zone, couple more chances for Guelph. And now another offensive zone faceoff, and they are 23-6 in the dot here tonight. Saginaw with a big win right there.
Klepov gets it off the wall, almost stolen by Zhilkin. Jenkin collided with him. The Spirit bench feels there was knee contact. Play continues here. Zhilkin could have been gone the other way, but the Storm still have it in the offensive zone on the power play. Kicked at by Jenkin. He corrals at center. Shabinski back to him. Klepov sneaks off. Barabanov comes on for the Saginaw penalty kill. It's got 35 left in it. Barabanov picks it up off the wall, and that goes into the Guelph bench. 12:08 in the period, 33 on the PK. We'll get another look at that collision between Zhilkin and Jenkin.
He certainly was gone the other way. The only thing I think of is incidental, but boy, that is a leg that is stuck out by Jenkin. He got away with one right there. Dangerous play, more so than just stopping a breakaway. Good to see Zhilkin able to pick himself back up, but certainly Saginaw has every right to be upset there.
Beauchene to the circle. One-timer knocked down in front, off bodies and sticks to the air. Bouncing puck can't be swatted away by Barnes. This is Hopkins for McFadden. Poked away by Barabanov. Just at the last second to get away from Serlin. Hopkins from center. One more chance on the Guelph power play. Beauchene, shouldered by Igor Barabanov. Gets through him. Got to be careful with that hook on the hands. They throw it in front, off some skates into the glass. From behind the net, Hopkins to McFadden. Out of the box comes Valeris. Beauchene back down low. This is Miedema here for the Storm. Beauchene wants it, takes a shot, deflected by Valeris. Friendly fire, great save, Papineau. Up the boards it goes. Kept alive by Beauchene. Fan on the pass, scooped up by Igor Barabanov. Leading the charge in for the Spirit. Not enough gas for the attack. He goes to the bench.
Those were two massive saves with the left pad by Caleb Papineau. Really excited to get another look at that. Remember those.
Kluche takes over at neutral ice. He gets cut off there by Babin, fresh from the Guelph bench. Sent back over now, Spada. Up to Leo Serlin. Snellgrove has speed. Puck was in his skates, but he still pulls it out. Parker Snellgrove in behind the Saginaw net. Uses the boards. Grant Spada right point. Almost the halfway point of this hockey game. Hot shot, quick rebound off the boards, and another save by Papineau with Snellgrove bearing down. This is McKenzie. Takes a shot, he scores! Hunter McKenzie cuts down the run of saves from Papineau. He goes up over the glove hand. 10:41 to go in the second period. The game is tied again.
Boy, is this fun. I mean, you see a couple of great saves from Caleb Papineau. And then again, the depth of the Guelph Storm. This is technically their fourth line. And you have a fourth liner in Hunter McKenzie with an absolute rip high to the glove that I'm not sure Papineau ever saw, with a couple of bodies in front. 10th of the year for the native of Holstein, Ontario. And a great shot at that. 4-4, only fitting this game should be tied at the halfway point.
And you saw the frustration from Caleb Papineau as that puck hit the twine in behind him. Spirit will try to get it back here. Back and forth they go. The Spirit are the only team to score back-to-back goals in this hockey game. Well, they jumped ahead at 3-2, but this is Storch now down the wing. That shot may have handcuffed Jovanovski for a second. Well up into the air, and the Storm loft this up over the head of Roscoe. Snellgrove trying to get after him. The reach of Roscoe was there, but Snellgrove got in the speed. Liam Storch through center ice. Swung to the middle. It's handled by the captain, Zhilkin. Drops it off. Valeris takes a shot. That gets blocked. It ramped up for Sard's stick. Zhilkin on it. Valeris again. Drew Roscoe. Pushed into the corner. Jensen Geldart gets there away from Jenkin. Moves it up high. Pace on that pass for Zhilkin. Belahorski pokes it away. Jensen Geldart down low, taken out of the equation by Jenkin. And so, Frassard away from Storch. But the forecheck there of Geldart won't make it too easy. Belahorski now on the counterattack for the Storm. Lost it in his skates for a moment. Gets closed off by Graydon Jones, and the cross-ice pass is handled by Saginaw's Bodie Stewart. Up for Storch. They stretch things quickly into the offensive zone. Storch doubles back, 9.5 to go in the period. Broken play in front of the net as Stevens batted it down. Did Cienko keep that puck in? Yes. Frassard has Stewart behind him. Give it away. Jam play from Carson Harmer is shut down by Jovanovski. Harmer snuck in almost undetected until that puck was on his stick. Graydon Jones, no icing. A giveaway here. Jaakko Weissik will turn it back in behind the net of Caleb Papineau. Stevens there. Knocked off that puck by Graydon Jones. Picked up by Harmer. He finds Cienko. Pushed up but intercepted. Spada tosses this back into the far corner. A bouncing puck that's picked up by Ilya Shabinski. Some head fakes, some stick fakes. Gets away and out of danger. That shot by Beauchene tipped wide. Jaakko Weissik. Hopkins lifts the stick of Harmer. Jones is there to help him out. And they get the puck up onto the stick of Saginaw's Nikita Klepov. 3 against 2 as they hit the blue line. Klepov there for Harmer. Wants a pass in front, doubles back, uses the wall. Harmer protects the puck, goes off the stick of Beauchene. Shabinski follows on. Klepov tries to get it back. It's gloved there by Barabanov. No chance for Klepov to touch with the hand pass. So this is Shabinski back in for Hopkins now. The Storm come back the other way. Thrown in front and a great glove save as Caleb Papineau robs a great chance from Jaakko Weissik.
The numbers might not reflect it with the 4 goals on the board, but Caleb Papineau is doing a really, really nice job in net, keeping this a tie game as Guelph continues to double up Saginaw on the shot department. That one he makes look easy. Great read the whole way, anticipating that pass. You think of the sequence before Guelph tied it, a couple of big pad saves from him.
This has been a bit of an unusual game for the goaltenders, Jovanovski and Papineau. It seems you're either making a bid for save of the night or you're fishing the puck out of the back of the net. McFadden up the near side looking for Miedema. Harper's got to get back to secure the icing, and he does. 7:58 to go in the period. It is one of the more unique positions in all of sports. The highest, the highs, and lowest, the lows. These guys have both seen both ends of the spectrum here in this game. We've seen some saves of the season from Caleb Papineau's repertoire just in the second period alone.
And you think for Jovanovski, too, what he did just a night ago and how different of a game it looks like for him currently.
Miedema ties up with Harper. Hoponenko leads the charge back in for the Storm. No more puck courtesy of Hanrahan. Harper needs to give him some help, and he will. To the air, it's gloved down by Hoponenko, reeled back in by Miedema. Gets the crossovers down the wing. Blake Barnes was ready for it this time and turns him into the wall behind the Spirit net. Gets a healthy cross-check out of it. But Jacob Kluche doubles back. Pass does not connect for Barabanov. And so icing now goes against the Saginaw Spirit. 7:25 to go here in this second.
When you think of icings like that in a game like this, where Guelph has a 26-8 advantage in the face-off dot, and how these icings can add up when you're constantly not able to win the draw if you're the Saginaw Spirit. It's been one area of this game Guelph has completely dominated, and of course, as I say that, a good win by Barabanov.
Ryan Hanrahan, stick lift by a fellow first-rounder this year in Jaakko Weissik. That pass too far from Kluche for Barabanov. A little bit of deja vu. We'll do the same thing all over again, icing against the Saginaw Spirit.
Yeah, and you don't want to keep playing with fire with it either. Obviously, in the second period, it's harder to get a line change out of it. So if it is the last-ditch effort, but plays like that where you're just trying an outlet pass up the ice, you got to hit him on the tape. to avoid being potentially put on the defense right away with a defensive zone faceoff.
Parker Snellgrove. And a bouncing puck that's held back by McKenzie to Beauchene. Shot into traffic, save Papineau. Rebound now onto the tape of Igor Barabano. Pressure there from Snellgrove. He won that puck battle. The play is kept alive. Jenkins down to Beauchene. Swept in front, deflected, and a save by Papineau. McKenzie was coming across the sight line to get a tip on it. Another strong save by the Spirit netminder Papineau, and more after the fact.
Well, and there you go. That's all off a faceoff win. That entire sequence, couple of shots on net. And Snellgrove, we've already talked about how good he is in the faceoff dot, over 58% on the year. Won that one with ease. Couple of looks, and all of a sudden you're back on your heels again if you're Saginaw. Snellgrove is 8 of 10 in the dot tonight as well.
Really good look from Will McFadden there as he came across the sight line, and just perfect timing on that shot pass. Looking to extend a scoring streak to a 5th game. Goal and 3 assists in his last 4. Jones for Popoy, and a great pass is ahead to Dima Jilkin. Cuts back on Jenkins, shoots and scores! Are you going to expect anything else from 71 at this point? 6:47 in the period. Saginaw is back in front.
And how does this play start for Dima Jilkin, second of the year? In the defensive zone faceoff dot. A clean win and a great breakup ice by Jilkin. The pass right on his tape. You get the goalie moving one way. You put the puck back where he came from. That is a high-skilled play from what you have to think is a future 2027 first-round pick, Dima Jilkin. Highlight reel stuff from the Spirit captain to take the lead back with 6:47 to go in the second period.
7th goal in his last 6 hockey games for Saginaw's Dima Jilkin. Couple of stick taps for that pass from Brody Popoy off the wall as well. The margin was razor thin as they are waiting for the thumbs up from the scorer's table. Maybe an extra check to make sure that everything is all square. And it's a 5-4 lead again for the home team as this is back in. Ellsworth, the goaltender here for the Guelph Storm now.
I'm going to say it, but again, plays like that are why Saginaw has not been able to build on their lead. You win the faceoff at center ice, and you immediately miss the pass back up ice. Now you're back in your own end. They have not held the lead very long, despite all the offense they have gotten here tonight. So big faceoff here.
Face-off one here by the Storm. It's 5 goals on 12 shots for Zachary Jovanovski as he gives way to Colin Ellsworth, who continues to stretch out and get loose behind this play. Grant Spade is hit by Brody Popoy. Babin throws one to the net, and it's a blocker save by Caleb Papineau. Back in behind the net it goes. Caden Sienko rolls it along for Graydon Jones. Hit by Miedema. Storm go back to work. Puck comes up high. This is Spada. Shot into traffic. Popoy sold out to try and block it. Hit off the blocker of Papineau and ends up wide. Jones up the near boards. Gotten off the wall for Spada. Jilkin, 2 already. Tries to go on through. But he's going to have to double back and send it back underneath. This is Jensen Geldart. Wants to get loose off of Spada. Leo Serlin won't give Brody Popoy a clean path to the puck. Patrick Babin is waiting for whatever may come out of this scrum. He'll blow the play dead, and so it's going to be a face-off. 5:40 left in the second. Colin Ellsworth continues to get ready. The onslaught continues here for the Spirit. 5 goals on 12 shots. They lead it 5-4. New goaltender here for the Guelph Storm. We're back in a moment on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Chris Barrios to create your personal price plan today.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Inside the Dow Event Center, Colin Ellsworth is in action here for the Storm. First game since Valentine's Day. He stopped 33 in a loss to the Brantford Bulldogs. Looking for his first victory since November the 28th against the Windsor Spitfire. It's a one-goal game right now, so that is very much on the table here for Ellsworth. But a long stretch pass here for the Storm out of their own end. Has a little bit of jump off the end wall behind Caleb Papineau. It goes down as an icing. 5:31 here in the second.
Always interesting when you get a new netminder in the middle of a game as well. Ellsworth, obviously, was sitting on the bench for better part of 33 minutes. So if you're Saginaw, you want to get shots on him early. Try and see if he can sneak one in before he has the opportunity to settle into this game.
They win an offensive zone face-off. Blake Barnes has it pulled away by Jaco Wysick. Backhands it up the near side. Ilya Shabinski. Hopkins tied up with Harper. Bodie Stewart comes back to help out, and the forecheck continues there for Hopkins and Shabinski. Bunted out of the air right in front of Caleb Papineau, and this is where the Spirit may see themselves in some danger. Shabinski, great pass into the skates of Hopkins. A little turnaround feed that keeps the possession going. Hopkins far side. From the circle, the return pass from McFadden to Hopkins. Back over. McFadden below the goal line with lots of traffic in front. Just paddled aside by Caleb Papineau, and a puck slipped in towards the goal crease and cleared all the way back out. First real touch in this game for Colin Ellsworth. He's with the stick. He moves it up the far wall. Carson Harmer hit by McFadden. We'll catch up with Harmer coming up at ice level here in the second intermission. This goes down for Graydon Jones. Trying to calculate the puck movement there against Jaco Wysick. This is Kluche on the near side. A lot of white sweaters in front of him. So he takes Grant Spada wide. Takes an edge, though, as well. Throws the puck in front. Shut down here by the Storm. Babin back behind the Guelph net. Approaching the 4-minute remaining mark here in this second period. And Caleb Papineau will watch as another icing drifts back in. Scooped up by the new kid on the block here in Spirit defenseman Tyson Ackerman, wearing number 41 in blue.
Boy, and you wonder if Jacob Kluche doesn't blow a tire there. He left a couple of Guelph Storm defenders in the dust. But covered a little late. But good job offensively there by Saginaw. Getting offensive zone face-off out of it. And you go right back to your top line here.
Only been a couple of shifts. You just saw Tyson Ackerman there. 14 points in 45 games for Kamoka in the GOHL. Called up. He's the 7th defenseman here tonight. 12th round pick by the Spirit in 2024. This is Snellgrove up the near sidewall. It's intercepted by Barabanov. Great chance. Here's an opportunity. Hanrahan fanned on it. Again off the wall. Hanrahan on through. This is Barabanov. High in the offensive zone. Waits. Hanrahan pays a bit of a physical price. Barabanov's shot is off of Kluche. Ellsworth may have made the save. It could have been made by Kluche. Now Barabanov up high. Lots of bodies in front. Wants to take advantage. Near side. Roscoe shoots. Blocked on its way through. As Spada sells out, he got the job done. And the puck is advanced all the way down the ice. So Kluche's got to get back to it first in the Spirit end. Spada still hurting as he stays in the play. Jacob Kluche weaves his way into the offensive zone and fires it around. Barabanov tries to slip in on Belahorski. Kluche tied up. This one kept alive again here by the Spirit. It's Barabanov to walk up the wall. Hits the reverse against Stevens. But boy, the shot. That one fought off by Ellsworth. Rebound is loose. Right in between the hash marks. Stevens takes it away. Goes to the air again. Levi Harper. Little hand-eye coordination. He's got two Storm players in front of him. And play is blown down offside. 2:55 here in the second.
There's been a really good couple of minutes here from the Spirit. You haven't seen a whole lot of kind of attack mode after they take the lead. Third different time they've held a one-goal lead. This is the first time it's felt like they've really done a nice job of establishing back-to-back-to-back shifts in the offensive zone to try and grow that lead to 2, something they have not been able to do tonight. Neither have the Guelph Storm.
Levi Harper back in his own end, gets drilled into the wall from a tough angle by Gallagher. Harper is down, and the engagement follows from everybody. They got to be careful not to do any further damage to Levi Harper. That was a difficult angle. Gallagher came in full force, and there is going to be a difficult time pulling Saginaw's Jacob Kluche away from him.
You said it, partner. This is where you want to be careful. You're already going to a power play. You don't want to go and even things up.
Lane Gallagher, 6'1", 180. Gets the heavy toss there. Shoulder to shoulder on Harper, but the angle sends him headlong into the boards.
And shoulder to shoulder will keep it from being a 5, but certainly you said the angle of which he got to him, and most importantly in all of it, good to see Levi Harper able to get up on his own feet.
Blake Barnes takes a seat for the Spirit. Noah Jenkin will join Gallagher in the box. Nothing's been put up on the scoreboard at center ice just yet. And again, Levi Harper popping right back up could be a mitigating factor here. Chris Lazary has indicated the signal for a review on the bench just to confirm. I believe that's what's going to happen here. The iPads will come out. So I don't know that Gallagher has avoided a major penalty. If they're going to review it, it would be for a 5. And I think we'll see that pop up on the board. Yep, right there on the center hung. 5 minutes on the wall there for Lane Gallagher on that hit.
And you have to think the other two, Jenkin and Barnes, offsetting. But very interesting review here. Initial look, we kind of both hinted at it. It looked like he got him in the shoulder, but again, the angle where you're from behind.
And you got to think of the distance away from the boards as well.
That's right.
You're in that danger zone where you're 4 or 5 feet away from it. You're not going to hit the ice before the boards, and you can't put your arms out to protect yourself.
It almost looks like Harper just kind of turns enough.
Well, he does turn at the moment of impact, too. That might be a mitigating factor against Gallagher as well. But, again, the violence with which Levi Harper met the wall. And the referee, Kevin MacArthur, has signaled 2 minutes back to the Spirit bench.
Kind of what we both thought. Certainly a dangerous play. And, again, great to see Levi Harper get back up. Now just the offsetting. So another power play here for Saginaw, 2 for 2 tonight, and a great opportunity late in this second period to really seize the momentum. It's kind of felt that way. It's been trending that way the last few minutes since Dima Jokin's second goal at the 13-13 mark. Now you really have a chance to maximize your momentum here in this second period.
The official writing of the boarding rule in the OHL rulebook. There is an enormous amount of judgment involved in the application of this rule by the referees. So if you feel you got to put that in the official writing of the rule, more so than maybe any other penalty. So it is a minor penalty to Gallagher for boarding. Saginaw 2 for 2 on the IBEW local 557 power play. This is their third try, up 5-4. And Klepov can't keep it alive, and it's a roughing penalty, not a boarding call, as it's been read inside the building. So rewind everything we just said about boarding. Jokin's going to pull it off the boards, and into the circle he goes. Usual suspects on the Spirit power play. Klepov in their usual spots. From the circle he goes. Barabanov will take over there for him. Walks down low. Wanted to feed Jilkin. That was read there by Grant Spada.
A good job by Spada recovering. He was the one along the boards there that allowed that puck to stay in the zone. He was trying to get out of the way. Avoided disaster. Grant Spada, 7th-round pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and a great play right there to recover and get the clear.
Shabinski turns this back in behind Caleb Papineau. Jilkin takes over inside the final 2 minutes here of the second period. Nikita Klepov down the wing. Tries to get through Spada. Stumbles a little bit. Keeps on going. Beauchesne gets there, and Spada helps him out. Chops the puck up the wall, but not out of the zone. Cloutier pulls it back. Harper alive still. This is Klepov in the right wing faceoff circle. Waited just a second too long. Maybe a shorthanded chance for Quinn Beauchesne. Back with Hopkins. Lays it in front for him. Broken up by Nikita Klepov. Jilkin back the other way. 38 on the power play. Cloutier hits the trailer. Harper tries to dust it off and find Barabanov. He's got to chase it himself in the corner. Levi Harper. Jilkin swinging a miss there. Had a great opportunity. And Cloutier's inadvertently put it back on the stick of Shabinski.
And Jilkin will be the first one to tell you he wants that one back, because he had all sorts of room between the hash marks to finish off the hat trick.
Puck goes out of play. 16 seconds left on the penalty to Lane Gallagher. And that was about as of all the times that the Spirit have been able to find Dimas Jokin in the bumper on this power play, that's as wide open as he's been for any of them. He scored on the others. So we'll have to correct ourselves again. Noah Jenkin and Blake Barnes got the offsetting roughing minors. It does go in as a boarding penalty to Lane Gallagher. There's only 14 seconds left in it, though. Hanrahan takes a shot. That's fought aside by Colin Ellsworth. Roscoe down to the corner. Carson Harmer, our guest coming up in the intermission. Roscoe over to Graydon Jones. Walks in and shoots. The goaltender looked behind him. Puck wasn't there. Out of the box. It'll be Jenkin they've released. And now this is Snellgrove down the wing trying to find him. Have they released the wrong player? I think that's the case here. It doesn't matter just yet. Babb into the circle. He gets shouldered down by Brody Popoy. And one-handed ahead by Hanrahan. And this puck will bounce up to center red. Brody Popoy does what he can to get it forward. Carson Harmer wanted to push it ahead to Popoy. Babin taken into the wall. Another hit from Hanrahan. The puck is up the near side for Miedema. Gets cleaned out there by Caden Sienko. Maybe one more chance for Popoy as Hanrahan touches up. 2 seconds. Well, the stick will say no dice there. We've seen some interestingly timed broken sticks here in the last 24 hours. That one for Brody Popoy, I don't think interesting is the way he feels about it, but that's the end of the period regardless. We will not find out what happens when the wrong player is released from the penalty box. It does not matter. 5-4, that's the only thing that matters to either of these two hockey clubs. We'll take a break. There you see Carson Harmer. He'll join us for the second intermission coming up after this here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Midland. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see how you can get it all at Garber Midland at the corner of Saginaw and Eastman. See all our inventory online at garbermidland.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
As a business, a roof over your head is just as important as the products you create. At Versatile Flat Roofing, our membrane roofs have provided safety and security to businesses in the Great Lakes Bay region for over 10 years. Our quality of production in low-sloped flat roofing systems made Versatile Flat Roofing the 2024 Michigan Elite Contractor of the Year. With more than 1,500 roofs installed and 75% of clients coming from repeats and referrals, customer satisfaction is at the heart of the job. For more information on keeping the roof over your head safe and secure, visit VersatileFlatRoofing.com today. That's VersatileFlatRoofing.com.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Caro, Croswell, and Seaboing factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
This is the sound of an average day in Michigan. This is also the sound of an average day in Michigan, thanks to people who hunt and fish. Every time someone buys a hunting or fishing license, our wetlands and shorelines are restored, and animals, once lost to Michigan, are making a comeback. Every time someone buys a hunting or fishing license, they're helping to ensure that Michigan's wildlife will be here for generations. Learn more at hereformioutdoors.org. Brought to you by the Michigan Wildlife Council and the MAB.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Right now, up 5-4. Carson Harmer has an assist in this hockey game and some good looks at the tail end of the second. Harmer joins us now from ice level. And Carson, it's been a lot of goal scoring here in this game so far. How do you guys make sense of the last 40 minutes?
Yeah, we've played good. Obviously, with the line switch, we kind of got to get some chemistry going, but I think we found that a bit. yeah, the puck's been going in. We've had some good chances, so hopefully we can continue that going into the third.
Now, you mentioned the line changes, and we were going to get to that a little bit later, but you bring it up now. We haven't really seen the lines get thrown in the blender like they were last night and into tonight again, really at any point this season. Just how much does it change the way you're thinking and the things you're looking for out there? Not just yourself, but everybody else that's got a new line combination.
Yeah, it just takes time. You got to read off each other a little bit, but yeah, I think we've adjusted pretty good, and yeah, hopefully we can keep it going. Like I said,
A couple of goals for yourself in last night's contest, an assist here tonight. As you guys are 10 games away from the postseason right now, still looking to lock up a playoff spot, do you feel the momentum both from a scoring touch and the team in general?
Yeah, it feels like we're kind of getting closer to playoffs, so everyone's getting a little bit more excited. Games mean more, so yeah, we've got some good bounces, and yeah, hopefully we can keep it going in this final stretch here and have a good playoff run.
Well, Carson, one more here for you. It's been back and forth all game long. You got a one-goal lead here. You've chased the opposing goaltender. How do you get this one over the finish line? You got 20 minutes left.
Yeah, I think it starts with our D zone. We just got to be good defensively, and then hopefully that will create some chances in the O zone. And yeah, we got to keep playing our game, shoot more with this new goalie in. So yeah, just keep it going.
Carson, appreciate the time. Good luck in the third.
Thank you.
That's Carson Harmer, his team ahead right now, down towards the final stretch of this regular season as well. 5-4 Saginaw. We'll take a break. When we come back, highlights and intermission stats. We'll bring Jack back into things here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Your active life depends on healthy muscles, bones, and joints. When pain arises, My Michigan Health is your go-to place. Our comprehensive musculoskeletal team offers the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatments and includes experts in specialized orthopedics and sports medicine. Whether your pain originates from your knee, hip, hand, elbow, shoulder, ankle, or foot, our experts can help. With more than 50 providers across 21 locations in central and northern Michigan, we're dedicated to keeping you active. Learn more at mymichigan.org/MSK.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
Enjoy the spirit of Frankenmuth and score big with your kids at the indoor water parks. The puck stops here in Funtown, where fan favorites include chicken and Christmas, but there's really so much more. Arcades, breweries, carriage rides, shopping, and pretzel rolling. Frankenmuth, where we leave the icing to the dessert. 800 Funtown. No matter how cold it is outside or in the hockey rink, there's loads of indoor fun waiting just down the road in Frankenmuth.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
It's time for your intermission report from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Here's Dylan Clark.
Back, and it all started with Jacob Kluche and another power play goal. Saginaw at one point had scored on 4 consecutive power plays. Klepov takes it hard to the net. Jacob Kluche right there for the rebound. Jack mentioned that is about as textbook as it comes on a power play goal here for the Spirit. Kluche's got a couple of those in the last 2 games. But the Storm don't let Saginaw feel too happy about it for too long. Quinn Beauchene comes back minute and 15 seconds later, snaps his 7th of the season over the glove of Caleb Papineau. The Storm even things up. Klepov, bang play. It does not go Dimas Hilkin's way, but it goes back to Igor Barabanov. The Spirit strike again with another power play goal. It's 4-3 at that point. Hunter McKenzie, his 10th of the season, had a lot of time, had a lot of room, so he figured why not take a chance to go up over the glove. That's exactly what he does. Mark Pape and Parker Snellgrove pick up the assists. But the Spirit captain, after Jones finds Papoy, he did not have a very large margin to snap that puck between the triangle there on the defender in his way, Noah Jenkin, but that's exactly where he put that puck, put it past Jovanovski and ended his night. Our second intermission stats brought to you by Raymond. 13 shots to 8 in that period in favor of the Storm. But the Spirit have the advantage on the score sheet, 5-4. Bring it back up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Dylan Clark, Jack Snevice, and Jack will start with the goaltender. Jovanovski's night ends. 5 goals on 13 shots. Ellsworth had not been busy at the end of that period. It's been a quality over quantity shot approach for Saginaw in this game.
And you think of the approach coming into this game, right, from Coach Lazary, how different the lineup looks compared to really any point this season. And what have you had? Your top guys have responded. Barabanov, Klepov, and Zhilkin have not been playing together, played together pretty much the entire season. Separated tonight, all of them have come through with multi-point games. That is what you look for from your leaders. When things aren't going right, sometimes just changing things up can get things going. You've seen a couple of great power plays. You've seen some really good chances. I think of the pass from Popoy to Zhilkin to spring what's currently the go-ahead goal. This has been a really, really strong response from last night's game from Saginaw. And with 20 minutes to go, you almost want to keep going, right? You mentioned McKenzie only saw 2 shots at the end of that second period. He might have been able to get adjusted a little bit more to this game. But if you're Saginaw, I think for the first 10 minutes, it's go, 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 and you try and get that 2-goal lead as soon as you can.
Oh, that's even Carson Harmer mentioned that at the tail end of the interview. He said, new goaltender is in. The mentality is shoot a little bit more. So maybe we will see them be a little bit less choosy with the places they take the shots from.
Well, they had that power play at the end, too, where it looked like they were trying to. Guelph did a really nice job on their own end, getting sticks in the lane, doing the little things, right? Blocking shots, clearing it out of harm's way, because obviously they know, okay, now we have a new goalie in our game. We got to make sure he gets comfortable and adjusted as well, knowing they haven't done as well of a job on the back end, hence the goaltending change. I thought Guelph did a good job of the penalty kill, but again, you kind of saw that shoot first more mentality rather than the first couple of power plays where they did a lot of good things to get that perfect play to set up the goals in the power play. I think that's part of the reason why it was unsuccessful.
We've spoken a lot about face-offs here in this game so far. And again, it is still a 1-goal game despite Saginaw having the lead. The Storm very much in the driver's seat on the face-off dot, 32-13.
It's a wide margin. I don't know if I've ever seen a margin quite like that. But you think of the one of 13 face-offs that Saginaw won, what was it? It was off an icing in their defensive end that led to the go-ahead goal currently. And that's how important face-offs are in this sport. It's kind of almost lost. You almost don't think about it as much because there's 40, 50, 60 face-offs a game. But there's little things inside a game where it's an offensive zone draw, a defensive zone draw. You think of in overtime when it gets to that point, who wins the face-off to establish possession. There's such a crucial part of the game that you're kind of left, hockey's a funny sport, right? Saginaw's in the lead. We're talking about how important face-offs have been, but Guelph has done a really nice job in the face-off dot. And when you're in the position of a team that's trailing in a 1-goal contest, each face-off becomes more and more important. You have to feel really good about that if you're a Guelph Storm fan.
20 minutes left in this game. We've seen goals being traded this entire night against Saginaw. Is the only team to score consecutive goals, to tie things up at 2 and then take the lead at 3-2. We've been back and forth ever since then. Not a ton of shot volume in this game. They're still going in. Is there a hesitancy to not be the team that makes a mistake going into this third period?
I don't think so, just because it kind of felt like that style of play today where both teams are going to get their chances. Both teams are going to get their looks. It's not so much a reason to go conservative. You have 9 goals in a hockey game, and sometimes I'm of the, say where go with the game flow, right? And the game flow right now is kind of that run and gun up and down. You've seen a couple nice saves. You've seen a couple really nice goals. The stretch passes have been there. The zone entries have been clean. I think if you're both team, that's the kind of game you want to keep playing. It's always hard to kind of turn and shift momentum and change how the style of play and become a little bit more passive, sit back a little bit more when that's just not how the game has worked out. So I think if you're Guelph, obviously you're going to be coming, out of the gate hot, trying to get that tying goal right away. And if you're Saginaw, I think it's the same mentality as well. You want to try and get that 2-goal lead. Goes without saying how important that next goal is. But when you think about the style of game we have with 9 goals through 40 minutes, there's going to be a couple more opportunities in this third period.
Well, you mentioned the stretch passes there. That's maybe one of the biggest differences here this game to last game for Saginaw. Those stretch passes, those first passes out of the zone were not coming together. And a big part of the reason why Saginaw fell 7-4. They're connecting here tonight. Big part of the reason why they're up ahead by 1 right now, 5-4 going into the third period. We'll take another break here in this second intermission report. Out-of-town scoreboard is coming up after this, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Dow, we believe performance starts long before the whistle blows. It begins in the lab, where science meets sport. From apparel to playing surfaces to gear, We create cutting-edge materials that help drive high performance from lab to stadium. Because in sports, just like in science, every second counts. And every material matters. Dow, at the intersection of sport and science. Learn more at dow.com/sports.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Saginaw Community Foundation also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Kathy Taffel to create your personal price plan today.
Recognize that sound? That's your heart racing when law enforcement catches you for drunk driving. Truth is, it's happening more and more these days. Cops are cracking down all across America. If you drive drunk, it's more likely than ever you will get caught and you will be arrested. So don't take any chances. If you're drunk, do not get behind the wheel. And maybe you could avoid feeling like this. Drunk driving, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Before we start that third period, let's take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard presented tonight, as it is every night, by Buffalo Wild Wings. 4-2, the London Knights take the victory over the Sudbury Wolves. 2 goals and an assist for Cohen Bidgood. Game-winning goal to William Nickel. Brantford falls in overtime, 4-3 to the Peterborough Peach. Adam Novotny, 2 goals. The first goal and the last goal. He gets the game winner on the power play to secure the W for Peterborough. 4-2. The North Bay Battalion over the Ottawa 67s. Jack Lisson, 41 saves in that hockey game. He's your first star of the night. Evgeny Dubrovtsev and Braden Krawchuk of the Ottawa 67s pick up a pair of helpers each. 2-1, the Flint Firebirds over the Windsor Spitfires. That is into the books. Jimmy Lombardi and Jacob Battaglia have the goals for Flint. Nathan Aspinall, 1 assist in that game. So he's stayed even here with Nikita Klepov, at least as they've traded things back and forth for the OHL's scoring title. 3-0 Kingston against the Oshawa Generals. Lucas Moore, Alex Mishiak, and Kieran Dervin, his 14th of the year, have the Frontenacs very much in control. Your out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. 1-goal game, third period, Saginaw and Guelph. Back after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You're looking for a better price on a better car, so dare to be different. Get to Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw, the only Hyundai dealer in the Great Lakes Bay region. See why Hyundai is so much better. Garber's certified factory-trained technicians, knowledgeable parts staff, and dedicated sales team will keep you coming back to Garber Hyundai. You really do get it all at Garber. Dare to be different. Choose better at Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, garberhyundai.com.
When you're ready for checking that earns interest and gives you perks, Merc Perks Plus from Mercantile Bank is here. With a competitive interest rate and perks like travel services, cashback rewards, and identity protection, Merc Perks Plus has everything you need for your busy lifestyle. Merc Perks Plus also offers discounts on consumer loans and access to almost 40,000 fee-free MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mercbank.com/mercperksplus. Member FDIC.
Sassy!
This week's episode, Bobcat in the Cave.
Gosh, Johnny, playing in the cave sure is neat. Oh boy, a kitty cat. Sassy, the kitty cat's yelling. What, Sassy? It's not a kitty, it's a bobcat? Speaking of cats, you like to stress the importance of adopting cats from animal shelters? Over 5 million cats go into animal shelters every year? And with millions of healthy cats to choose from, it's a shame more people don't adopt from shelters? This bobcat's heavy. Help, Sassy! Why bother? We'll just get into more trouble tomorrow? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, nuts.
Sassy is brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org. Remember, adopt.
The Ramsey Show.
3 years I have been paying for my parents' mortgage and home equity, $3,000 a month.
Why can't they pay their mortgage?
It was supposed to be temporary. They currently can't afford it. They want to stay in their house.
And what's the house worth?
$710.
And what do they owe on it?
$200.
They need to sell it and buy a house for $500,000 it's paid for. You are trying to make their fantasy world exist, and it's not sustainable.
The Ramsey Show, weeknights at 9 on WSGW. This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW. Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Or at least they controlled off the opening face-off here of the third. Does not see any penalties carry over. Saginaw has the 2 power play goals in this game. They are 2 of 3. And they'll put it onto the stick of Dimas Jilkin. He's got 2 goals in this game. Both of his came at even strength. And now Brody Papoy's going to steal. Tries to take it wide through Shabinsky and put it off the end wall back and behind Colin Ellsworth, who's taken over in net here for the Storm. Geldart throws one towards the net. Off some Storm players. And now Shabinsky trying to stretch this one ahead. It's Hopkins on a breakaway to the backhand. He scores! Tyler Hopkins does not waste any time. 39 seconds into the period, and we're right back where we started. A tie game yet again.
Well, Tyler Hopkins, I thought, was one of the more underrated deals the team has made this season and setting up not only for this year but for next year and the Memorial Cup run. And he has been nothing short of impressive here tonight, I should say. Perfect job, open the pillow, slip it 5-hole. 3rd point of the night, and just like that, we talked about keep up with the style of play. You've had that run and gun, kind of run and shoot style between both teams, and Guelph capitalizes not even a minute into the third. Tie game just like that.
This face-off will come all the way back down into the Spirit end. And if we exclude 0-0, this is the 5th time that this game has been tied. 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4, now 5-5. Parker Snellgrove to take this offensive zone faceoff against Carson Harmer, and he wins it. Shot stopped by Papineau. The rebound there does not get cashed in on by Mark Pape, but he's drawn a penalty. And before the goaltender Ellsworth can make his way to the bench, the penalty is called, play is blown down, and Saginaw will be shorthanded. Also important to mention Colin Ellsworth, as this game is tied again. He's the goaltender of record now here for the Guelph Storm.
Well, we've been harping on it, and I'm sure we sound like a broken record at this point, but that's a face-off win, clean chance, hook, and now all of a sudden right to the power play, all off a face-off sequence. Guelph has the momentum and then some. It did not take long for them to get ready to go here in this third period. Big opportunity for them to take the lead back for the first time since the opening frame.
Xander Valera sits 2 minutes on a tripping penalty. Saginaw to their 4th Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill in this game. And a hand pass called here. Face-off violation, maybe.
Believe they're going to get Dimas Jilkin for gloving the puck off the face-off. So now all of a sudden, things just ramped up even more because this is a minute and 58 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey for the Guelph Storm.
Things have changed very rapidly here for the Spirit. It only took 2 seconds off that face-off clock. This is the one that we just saw. Or no, it is not. This is the face-off happening right now. Well, they all begin to look alike at some point. Meet them up. Long 5-on-3 here for the Storm. Hopkins down low. It was Jilkin who's guilty of the face-off violation with the glove. Hopkins sends it over. Beauchene to the goal line. Wysick throws it in front off of Papineau. Broken play picked up by Wysick again. Beauchene back through. McFadden, then Hopkins to the corner. Hopkins again. Had the goal to tie things up at 5. Point shot there. Gets stopped by Papineau. A heavy one-timer there from Beauchene from the top of the circles. 2 against 2. Harmer will pull this one out. Motors up ice shorthanded and 5 against 3 for a long time. He's not taking any chances.
Carson Harmer had a really, really nice shift there. He was atop the triangle. He did not allow Miedema or Beauchene to get those shooting lanes at all. Forced Guelph into a shot and then got the clearing attempt all in the same 45 seconds.
Hopkins to Beauchene to Hopkins again. Goal line. Here's the chance. McFadden shoots. And Caleb Papineau able to pin it with the glove against his chest. And he would like Miedema to stand somewhere else. He'll let him know.
And that's a big-time save, too, because that was a really, really good look in tight from McFadden. Not only that, but he did a nice move. You'll see a little bit of a head fake, like he's going to pass, and he pulls Papineau just a little bit off that post. Almost caught him cheating, but a great job by Papineau to adjust in time and keep his shoulders square. Cover that one up.
50 seconds at 5-on-3 here for the Storm. Hopkins over. Beauchene. The place he's been standing, all power play, gets it back from Wysick, and that pass disrupted by Jensen Geldart. Off the glass, stays in the zone. Hopkins walking in more, right in front of the net. That one deflected wide by Miedema, got tied up by Graydon Jones. Puck taken again here by Miedema, out of the corner, up high. Beauchene, one-timer blocked by Geldart. His stick is broken. 5 against 2.5 right now. Hopkins walks in, sends it over. Hopkins gets it back, fan on the one-timer. Hopkins again, Beauchene, that shot gets turned out off the corner wall. It can't be kept alive by Beauchene. Geldart's got a new stick. He's going to finish the change, though, as Harmer comes on. Still a 5 against 3 for a few more seconds. Miedema down below the goal line. Back under the corner. This is Wysick, finds the seam. Hopkins takes a shot and scores. Off the goal post and in. The extra second of hesitation was enough to throw Papineau off the line. The Storm jump ahead at 6-5.
Just when you think the momentum shift and an unbelievable 5-on-3 kill, Tyler Hopkins, as he's seemingly done all night, finds the back of the net for the hat trick. And what a rip. He got Papineau moving. And it looks like it happened right as the initial penalty expired. What a shot, posted in. 4-point night goal number 20 and a hat trick at that. What a start to this third period from the Guelph Storm.
First hat trick of the season for Tyler Hopkins. Had one last season against the Saginaw Spirit as well. In this building, no less. January the 30th. Belahorski back the other way. Fortunately for Saginaw, their other penalty had expired. McFadden shot into traffic off of Levi Harper. He's favoring that right leg. Barabanov for Barnes. Zhilkin to the air for Barabanov to catch up to. It's past the fingertips of Gallagher. Now a chance for Roscoe as the late man stumbling, shoots, and he put it over the crossbar. Strange opportunity there. Maybe more time on that puck than he would have anticipated. Roscoe's back after it in the corner. Barabanov in front looking for Klepov. Now it'll be pulled back out here by Guelph's Jenkins. Pape will chase after it. No icing. He's the first man there back in the Spirit end. Tyson Ackerman. 7th defenseman tonight making his OHL debut. Tying up there with McKenzie. Snellgrove comes away with it here for the Storm. Ackerman and McKenzie finally untied. The puck is somewhere in some skates. The Storm find it first. Ryan Hanrahan to recover here for the Spirit. And he gave it away. Here's an opportunity. Great save by Papineau. He bails out Hanrahan, who tries to make the play and does. A great dive to recover and knock that out of danger. Jacob Kluche back in. Grant Spade up and around the wall as he gets a heavy hit there from Kluche. A couple of players come down. Cienko, yard sale, penalty coming. Interference is the call. 15-16 here in the third. And it'll be against the Storm. Mikhailo Hoponenko will sit down. Saginaw to the man advantage.
Calling for interference. You can see kind of taking Cienko down there. Cienko, a great individual effort to keep that puck from potential on-man rush, penalty or not. That's a big break for the Spirit because obviously ill-timed penalty for Guelph, but it felt like this first 5 minutes, Guelph was ready to go from the jump. Took the lead, tied things up obviously first. So now you have a chance to do the same on a power play that's been red hot tonight as well.
They'll get it back despite losing the first face-off here. 2 for 3 on the man advantage. A chance in front, and a great save is made by Colin Ellsworth. That bang-bang play again, Jilkin from right between the circles.
That's the third or fourth time that's worked as well. And if you're Guelph, that's got to be one thing you need to address on the bench, because with Tyler Hopkins having the game he's having, Dimas Jilkin is almost there with him as well. 1 goal from a hat trick, 3-point night for the Spirit captain. And he has had that look in the slot on the power play a few different times tonight. As the last person maybe for the Spirit you want there with a one-timer.
Levi Harper off the wheel from Klepov. Jilkin will send it back down. Beauchesne and Kluche battle for it. Comes back up the wall here for Jilkin. McKenzie there for the Storm. Comes loose. Barabanov wanted Klepov in front. The Storm will read that. Parker Snellgrove might have a little bit of a chance. Pestering Levi Harper. Jilkin will come back and take care of it. 40 seconds gone on the interference penalty to Hopanenko. Barabanov, Jilkin, Klepov. Back for Barabanov. Levi Harper, near side. Kluche catches, hangs on, and surveys, and down low to Barabanov, who stumbles but hangs on to the puck. Now here's the chance. Klepov for Harper. One-timer, hammered wide. Kluche, Barabanov. Klepov past the halfway point of the penalty. Klepov, near side. Harper's open. Did not like that shot. Will he go back to Klepov? He'll skate it. And now find Kluche in that same left circle. Back through. Here's Klepov. Back through again. Kluche, it's in his skates. Takes it. Backdoor. Look at the bump in front. One too many. Barabanov wanted Jilkin, and the Storm will fire it into the bench. 36 seconds left on the Hopanenko penalty. Looking for the perfect pass. They can't quite find it.
And that's a good way to describe it. It looked like they were trying just one too many. It was a great pass to Barabanov. Obviously, he's almost below the goal line. But with the left-handed stick on that post, you almost wonder if there was an angle for him to shoot the puck. Great pass, Kluche across the way. And a great job by Spada in front to break that up. Guelph penalty killers doing a nice job of making Saginaw work for that extra shot.
Well, and you mentioned that's got to be frustrating for Guelph that the Spirit keep finding Jilkin in the bumper. On the Saginaw side of things, it's worked 4 or 5 times. You can't really fault Barabanov for trying it again. The Storm will clear here. And I don't believe either one of us up here has ever scored a power play goal from the bumper, but it looks like it's a lot of fun. So I wouldn't blame them either. This is tossed back in behind the goal line. Frassard gets it out of danger. It drifts in on Caleb Papineau, and he'll sweep it back up to Levi Harper, but that's just about the end of power play time. As Harper draws it into the zone himself. Cross ice, Carson Harmer. Down from the goal line, deflected to the glass. Geldart against Jenkin. Ripped up the corner glass. That one took an awkward bounce off the stanchion, maybe the official as well. Carson Harmer comes over to close out Hopanenko, who's out of the box. And Harmer takes another crunch, moves this one back around to Jones. A little bit more behind that play. Babbitt. D to D, then back on through. This is Papen down for an icing. 12:46 left in this third period. We do have a penalty. Well, maybe. The arm of the official is up. We'll take a break. 6-5, the Storm have the advantage. Might have just been calling for a line change. We'll tell you when we come back in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Garber Ford is proud to serve Bay City with the same customer service the Great Lakes Bay region has come to expect since 1907. Our Ford team of experts you know and trust are dedicated to making your experience even better. And your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at Garber Ford. Come see us in Bay City at the intersection of Euclid, Wilder, and Better. Online at GarberFordBayCity.com.
Hi, this is Graydon Jones, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
.1246 here in regulation. It's a 6-5 advantage for the Guelph Storm. They've just killed off a Spirit power play, and despite those who may have thought otherwise, there is no penalty upcoming. We'll skate at 5-on-5 here. Offensive zone faceoff for the Spirit. Off the faceoff, the Storm control. Skated up through center. McKenzie dumps it back in and goes to the bench on a change. Braden Jones up for Dimas Zilkin, the Spirit captain, 2 goals and a helper here in this game. Tries the bowl on through Babin. Ellsworth is out of his net to play it. Send it back around for Nikita Klepov. This is the first time that we've seen Klepov, Zilkin, Barabanov reunited at 5-on-5. Jenkin back in the neutral zone. Each of them have had their impact on the score sheet. Chris Lazary trying to put his top forwards back together here. Off the glass, Zilkin there for Barabanov, wanted Klepov. He'll go all the way back into his own end to start the rush again. Through the hands of Hopkins for Zilkin. Throws it to the net there and out the other side past Ellsworth. Jones back over. Roscoe, point shot off of bodies to the corner. Jenkin and Klepov continue. Hopkins comes on to help. Barabanov there for the Spirit. It comes back out to the circle. Jaco Wysick is on this. Shouldered by Zilkin. Jones gives the puck right back to him. Strides over. Shabinski just ties him up, strips him of control. Gallagher couldn't get that in thanks to the reach of Drew Roscoe. Barabanov back in with Kluche heading towards the net. Barabanov wanted to pull and drag that one. Kluche gets hauled down in behind the net by Fassard. Belahorski jammed up at the offensive blue line by Saginaw's Roscoe. Papoy down the left wing with speed. Cutting towards the middle. Brody Papoy shoots and Quinn Beauchesne got a good active stick on that one. Puck out of play.
That is an incredible example of just how good the Guelph Storm have played since the goaltending change in front of Ellsworth. We talked about a lot how Saginaw is going to be looking to shoot the puck, and then some, with Ellsworth coming in off the bench after 5 goals allowed by Jovanovski. In almost 16 minutes now for Colin Ellsworth, he's seen just 3 shots on net. That is a really good response from the Guelph Storm in allowing their netminder to get into the flow of the game and keep pucks away from him as well.
Bouncer up to the top of the zone. Kluche pulls out the physicality to keep it alive. Papoy throws a shoulder too. Belahorski and Spada take care of business in front of Ellsworth. Bouncer turned back down the boards by Barnes. And while on the subject of Ellsworth, he is the goaltender of record now since the Storm tied and took the lead. Now here's Harmer looking in front, wanting Kluche. Good active goal stick there by Ellsworth. Now Levi Harper between the dots and another blocker save. And they just talked about only 3 shots. There's a 4th and a good active stick too. Brody Papoy has 3 Storm players all around him. The puck is still in his skates. He and Carson Harmer battle it up the wall again. Levi Harper sprinting towards the middle, now the near side. He'll pull Belahorski with him. Barnes let that puck go. Papoy getting a rough ride in behind the net. Kluche there. The rotation continues for Saginaw. Harmer up high, near side. Barnes the one-timer out the other side. And all the way around it rolls. Jacob Kluche knows that Barnes is up along the wall, but he can't pull it off the boards on the bounce. He can't even make contact with it. So it goes down as an icing with 10:05 to go.
Certainly was interesting to see Coach Lazary go back to the usual lines for the Spirit, but they've done a nice job in response of creating some chances. But again, that save by Ellsworth on Harper just a few minutes ago is a product of him now being acclimated to the game. It might have just been his 4th shot on net, but he's gotten into the game flow now and saw that one really well with the blocker.
Broken up by Bodie Stewart. Here's an opportunity for Geldart. Another stick in the lane, and you hear the frustration. That's a couple of opportunities, this time for Sard. Earlier in the period, Quinn Beauchesne on the Brody Papoy opportunity. Sticks in the lanes, blocking shots, and denying Saginaw some really good-looking chances off the rush.
Oh, and sometimes a goaltender change, too, isn't necessarily because of the goaltender. It's more of a wake-up call, or can be, to your team. Now, Jovanovski obviously allowed the 5 goals, but the response Guelph has had since Ellsworth has come into the game has been night and day from where we were early on in that second period.
Zilkin watches for Sard. Back around to McFadden. Backhanded up the center ice. McKenzie. Harper takes over, moves to Graydon Jones. Back to the middle. Taken off the wall by Snellgrove. Jones puts him into the boards further. Jones into the skates of Barabanov. McKenzie steals. Here's a chance for Sard. Great glove save, Caleb Papineau. And he's ready for the faceoff just like that. Keeps it a 1-goal game, 9:21 here in regulation.
And even with the 6 goals, Caleb Papineau has come up with a few huge saves tonight, and the reason it's just a 1-goal game. That one right there, you could see the confidence in it too, quickly snatching it and tossing the puck aside. Saw that one the whole way. Great job, edge of the blue paint, if not even more.
Way beyond. Defensive zone faceoff will come up to his right. He continued to drift out. Just get that extra inch or two of shoulders up towards the crossbar and beyond. The Storm take over back in their own end. That pass can't be handled on the back end by Ilya Shabinski, so Drew Roscoe finds Blake Barnes. Storm recover. Bodie Stewart looking to force a turnover. Hopkins, 4 points in the game, 3 of them goals. Last 2 hat tricks now have come against the Saginaw Spirit here at the Dow Event Center. Beauchene down the boards. Twists away from Geldart. No more puck for the Storm. Maybe spoke too soon. Wysick down low. Thought Saginaw had that going the other direction. So did they. Here's Jenkin. Back to Wysick. Jenkin, point shot into traffic. Why not? But that's deflected out of play. 8.5 to go. We'll see fresh bodies come out here for the Spirit. Blake Barnes and Drew Roscoe go back to the bench. No Josh Glavin, no James Go. That is 451 games between the two of them of OHL action. Between the 7 defenders that are in the lineup here tonight for Saginaw, that includes the first OHL game of Tyson Ackerman, 387 games of OHL experience. So maybe we shouldn't count that, 386, because we didn't count this game for any of the others. But when the 2 defensemen out of the lineup have more games played than the 7 in, it's a young blue line. Brody Papoy took a stick up high. Plays continued up here now to Serlin. And he throws it back in behind Caleb Papineau where Jones is there. Serlin chops after it. Caden Cienko throws that one into the crowd. And a delay of game penalty upcoming. 8:07 here. And unfortunately on the Saginaw side of things, a little bit of the youth showcased from Cienko. Difficult time on the mistake that sent Saginaw down a man.
And that's a product of about 52 minutes of hockey where the Guelph Storm have really done a nice job pressuring the Saginaw defense when they're in their own zone. And I'm really impressed with the Storm and how they've handled this entire third period. It's one thing to tie the game. It's another to take the lead. It's another to continue to be the aggressor the entirety of this period. Now getting another power play. And the way this third period has gone, I know there's been 11 goals in this game, but if Guelph gets that second tally to go up by 2, it certainly changes the entire complexity of things.
Beauchene, give and go with McFadden. Down to the circle, Hopkins, Beauchene again. Slid back over McFadden, Beauchene, Hopkins to the bumper. Serlin, pad save made by Papineau. Thrown back in front, here's an opportunity. Open net chance. Gets out of play there off the stick of Hopkins. Did that roll off his toe? Did Roscoe block that? Caleb Papineau is going to give him a fist bump as if to say thank you.
Regardless, that's a wide open net, and Drew Roscoe, how about the selflessness there? Papineau out of his net, and I think it got him.
Right on the knee.
To square that up, and I'm not sure he was probably aware of how open that net was behind him, but certainly remember that one from Drew Roscoe.
Blake Barnes gets the puck as far as center. 30 seconds gone on the delay of game penalty to Caden Cienko. This is Saginaw's 6th Storm Asterisk Exteriors penalty kill here. Storm have a 1 power play goal in this game. Beauchene. McFadden, Serlin, Beauchene, McFadden again on the boards. Beauchene to Hopkins to the middle. Serlin, 1 more pass over. That's not where McFadden was, and it's taken away by Barnes. He can't get it out. Stick tied up there by McFadden. Beauchene keeps it alive. Takes a shot right in front. Stopped. He wanted to go back between the legs. Made him a great save made by Papineau. Still loose under some skates. 1 more jam, and Papineau's going to hang on, and Roscoe cleans out one of the Storm on the top of the crease.
I tell you what, Caleb Papineau made a save here that I'm not even sure we realized how difficult it was. Through all of this traffic, you see meeting the initial attempt between the legs right there. He read that puck through the legs of Barnes and thwarted a Guelph attempt on what could have been a pretty wide open cage. You see the follow-up attempt right there. that he got over in time to make the save through traffic. Still 53 to go on the penalty kill, but Saginaw doing a nice job hanging on so far.
Jenkin, Yako Wysick, final 45 of this Guelph power play. Shot there, stopped by Papineau. Shabinski off the wall. Jenkin, back across. Wysick takes a shot. That goes into the glass. Kluche gets to the boards to wrestle with Shabinski. Belahorski puts it into the corner. Stevens, followed by Roscoe, emerges on the other side, put into the wall by Jones. Jenkin hesitated, moves the puck to Shabinski. Takes a shot to the net, deflected by Roscoe, saved by Papineau. Stevens got the extra try. Almost some friendly fire again. Roscoe had the right idea, and Papineau has to make a save.
Well, and who had the two biggest saves on this penalty kill so far? It was Roscoe and Papineau again. Harmless looking shot here from Shabinski. Good job by Papineau squaring it up. I don't think he ever saw it, and I'm not sure Roscoe even realized the screen he was having his netminder. But either way, no harm, no foul. 16 seconds to go. And you're resting the big boys of Klepov, Jilkin, and Barabanov, although two of them are out there now to get possibly a jump on the offense.
Well, that's the thing. If they're going to tell you, they tell the defense, if you're going to block a shot, block it. Grant Spade and near side Belahorski. That one is blocked by Graydon Jones, up and out of play. Probably the most famous of the goaltenders when it comes to that sort of thing. Stepan Shurigan's favorite netminder growing up, Henrik Lundqvist, the Hank Stare, was known and feared by his defensemen throughout his entire time with the Rangers. If you would try to block a puck and deflect it in on him, you got the Hank Stare. And from what we understand, it did not feel too good to be on the receiving end of that.
This is a really, really strong kill from Saginaw. The momentum's been against them the entire third period. To come up with a big 2 minutes right there. You got 6 minutes now. You're going to see a lot of the top line, as you should. It's got to be all systems go now.
Here's Gallagher down the wing. Takes the shot. It's in the pads of Papineau. He's got the hand up to say, I got it. And he does. But it wasn't quite so obvious. 5:55 left in regulation. 1-goal hockey game. We're back to Saginaw after this.
In hockey, every play counts, and retirement's no different. At McIntosh and Associates, we're your financial line mates, helping you skate through the tough stuff. Taxes, healthcare, income planning, and more. You bring the goals. We'll help set up the assist. Schedule your visit at wealthmichigan.com or call 989-692-2200. Retirement made clear, with a team that plays to win.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Back inside the Dow Event Center. 5:55 here in regulation. The Storm have the only 2 goals of period 3 to tie and take the lead 6-5. Nikita Klepov through center ice. Stops up, hits Jilkin. Down the wing comes the captain, takes a shot. Ellsworth makes the save. The rebound comes back in front. Storm getting out of danger. Jones is fresh on the ice. Had to lunge into the zone to keep the puck alive, but the Storm throw it back out to Harper. Nicely poked into the air. Klepov gloves it down and turns to spike it in behind Ellsworth. Igor Barabanov followed him closely. Belahorski gets it back out past the pressure of Saginaw's Harper. At center red. Puck is in the skates of Jilkin. Finally gotten deep.
It's going to be every other shift now for Jilkin, Klepov, and Barabanov. Good initial shot there from Jilkin. Certainly would like to have more zone time.
Puck behind Ellsworth. Harmer forces the issue. Ellsworth has to move the puck on his backhand. Seems to work out okay here for the Guelph Storm as this is Pate back in. Jones shrugs off a check. Popoy for Kluche. Pass up, intercepted by Parker Snellgrove. Now this is McKenzie. Gets run over there by Graydon Jones. Beauchene steps up, pulls the puck back from Popoy, and it's tossed into the Spirit end by McKenzie. Pape hits Jones. Harmer there. Comes off his skate. Popoy's got to make a quick pass as Serlin forced the issue again. The puck flipped back out to center ice. Gloved and handled by Jenkin.
And Guelph has not flinched. They know the youth that is on that Saginaw blue line right now.
No icing as that was angled in from center red. So now Brody Popoy has to pull it up the wall. Could not be sealed off by Haponenko. Harmer finds Kluche and just fires it back in deep. 4 minutes left in regulation. 1-goal contest. Serlin backhands this in for the Guelph Storm. Blake Barnes on the rolling puck, guides it around for Drew Roscoe. Up the boards, Hanrahan. Pushes it there for Jensen Geldart. Haponenko turns him into the boards. He took a stick up high. Blake continues. Hanrahan's in, reaching after it. Can't get it away from Jenkins. Hanrahan around the wall. Too far for Jensen Geldart. Now Blake Barnes tries to seal off the wall. The Storm get it out to center, but a whirling stick from Bodie Stewart gets it out of any sort of danger. Leo Serlin's lost his stick. This is Drew Roscoe here for the Spirit. Ryan Hanrahan back in behind the net of Ellsworth. He's there to play it again. The goaltender of record now. After Jovanovski vacated the game, the Storm have since taken the lead. As this goes back in deep, Beauchesne to pick it up. Caleb Papineau remains in the Spirit net for now. Line change completed by Saginaw, and Jackie hit the nail right on the head. Here comes the top line again for Chris Lazary. Wysick is in for the Storm. Trying to drive through everybody. Stops up in the left wing corner, finds his man, and a shot stopped by Papineau. Guess who? It was Hopkins again from a high danger area. Braden Jones takes the moment that he had, makes the smart pass up to Klepov, given there to Barabanov. Jones from the skate to the stick. Saginaw's lost their speed, though, on that zone entry. So all they can do is dump it back in, and Hopkins throws it up the near side for Wysick. Chops it down. Jones has to take him into the boards and throw it back in front for Levi Harper. Papineau looking towards the bench, not yet. Frissard on things here for the Storm. Now for Spada. Banked up off the penalty box boards and out of play. 2.5 to go in the third period. The faceoff will be just outside the Spirit zone.
Well, eyes are certainly on Papineau now. The problem is Saginaw can't get set up in the offensive zone. You had the timeout for Coach Lazary, so I think you go second line here for 30 seconds. Then you might see Barabanov, Zhilkin, and Klepov the rest of the way. Still just 5 shots on goal on Colin Ellsworth in this game. Guelph has really upped the ante since he has come in. They look like they're in the driver's seat. Someone's going to have to step up here for the Spirit if they want to tie things up.
Blake Barnes, after Saginaw wins the faceoff. Papineau looks to the bench. Now Popoy moves into the offensive end. White sweaters all over him. Harmer drops it off. Levi Harper now. Papineau waiting at the hash marks. Harper sends this one over. Carson Harmer. There goes Papineau. Extra attacker coming for Saginaw. Brody Popoy's got to get after this puck. Jenkins puts it up the wall, and the Storm angle it back out to center ice. Barabanov, the extra man. Saginaw, 9 goals for, 12 against when they pulled the goaltender for the extra attacker. They did it twice last night. They saw 2 empty net goals against, and now here's an opportunity for the Storm. They score! From his own face-off dot, Noah Jenkins lays it all the way down the ice. 1:51 left in regulation. The Guelph Storm have a 7-5 lead.
What a third period this has turned out to be for the Guelph Storm. That's now 14-3 in the shot department, and it's 3 goals to 0 in this period. They came in down a goal. Noah Jenkins, 185 feet, more or less. That is a backbreaker. Saginaw was just never able to get anything going offensively in this third period. Not to say it's over. Papineau's going to go to the bench again, but that one certainly stings for the Spirit.
Tyler Hopkins taken away as Saginaw's Harmer, who scored the 2 6-on-5 goals here for Saginaw last night. There goes Papineau again. That is empty. They trail by 2. 90 seconds left in this one. Jacob Kluche. Dropped off. Levi Harper. Barabanov. Into space for Zhilkin, but too far ahead of him. Frissard is on this. Backhands it up and out. It will go down for an icing here. Down to 1:11 left in the third period. Do we see maybe a timeout from someone? Does not look like it. What a road trip this has been for the Guelph Storm. If they can hang on here over the next minute and 11 seconds, they will sweep a trip through Sarnia, Sault Ste. Marie, and Saginaw. And for the Spirit, opportunities to stack up points against teams close to them in the standings will be slipping through the fingers. Here's Harper. That is empty for the Spirit. Shot gets blocked on its way through. Spada just trying to take as much time off the clock as possible. Zhilkin's going to toss him into the wall as a result. Harmer's got the puck. Inside the final 60 seconds. Kluche, goal line, Zhilkin. Back up to Igor Barabanov. Walking towards the middle, near side, Jilkin again. They'll change spots. Jilkin rolls over the top. Klepov to the corner. Walks up, goes through the seam. Disrupted before he can get the Barabanov. But he does get it around Ilya Shabinsky. Puts it off the wall. Harper, back and forth. Snellgrove, one more bank off the wall. Does Hopkins have another one in him? There's backspin on the puck, but it backspins right back into the net. Shabinsky and Hopkins will celebrate. 8-5 is the score. Tyler Hopkins at the fourth goal.
Talking about Guelph taking over this game down the stretch. Tyler Hopkins has his fingerprints everywhere. 5 points, 4 goals for the Toronto Maple Leafs prospect. And the nail in the coffin, the win streak to 4 for the Guelph Storm. An impressive statement third period to create a little bit of room in the standings now between them and Saginaw for that 6th seed in the West.
Face off at center. That'll be a career high for Tyler Hopkins with his 4th goal in this hockey game. Caden Sienko back to play things. The Spirit looked to get one of Josh Glavin or James Gold back in the lineup sooner rather than later. The Storm will pick up an important 2 points as they get closer to locking up a playoff spot. There are only 3 left in the OHL's Western Conference. They're 2 points closer. 8-5. The Storm have a win on a Sunday night in Saginaw. Their 26th victory of the season. Give them 56 points in the OHL's Western Conference. They sweep the season series against Saginaw. 8-5 the final. 4 unanswered here by the Guelph Storm in the third period. We'll take a break. Post-game, 3 stars, and a look ahead after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
We're Durolast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Durolast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Durolast, the world's best roof.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
Now, a WSGW morning team memorable
We were
moment.
talking about Pink, who's on a tour, and right now performing in London. She was at the Hyde Park over the weekend, and somebody threw
something,
threw a bag of ashes. Well, and Pink has been now involved in another one on the same tour. Apparently, another fan has decided to, as they say here, gift her during one of her songs. Pink was delightfully surprised to receive a gift a fan handed her while she was performing on stage, a large wheel of brie cheese.
How did he get near her?
I don't know. Where's the security?
Yeah.
Because usually security's, they're surrounding the stage.
Yeah, you would think so.
So somebody's throwing cheese all over the stage. Does that mean there was debris everywhere?
Michael, you should be ashamed. Actually, you should not. Michael, who is a purveyor of puns.
I embrace those proudly.
Yes, you should.
Your morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW. Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
4 unanswered goals. Walked into it with a Saginaw advantage. Take a look back at that third period. Tyler Hopkins, who, as Jack said earlier in this game, had his fingerprints all over this when he set the tone for the third. 39 seconds in, finds himself on a breakaway. 19th goal of the season between the wickets on Caleb Papineau is his second of the night. Ethan Miedema down below the goal line. The Storm would finally convert on the power play. And a nice one off the goalpost there from Tyler Hopkins, 20th of the year. Second hat trick of his OHL career. Both of them have come against the Saginaw Spirit. And an empty net goal, Noah Jenkin, from long range. Colin Ellsworth picks up an assist as he takes over and picks up the win. And then Tyler Hopkins into another empty net here for the Guelph Storm 21st of the season, 4th of the hockey game, 8-5. The Guelph Storm will have a happy bus ride back to Guelph. Final stats brought to you by Raymond. 15 shots to 3 in that third period, 40-17. Both of those numbers favor the Guelph Storm, who went 1 for 6 on the power play. But that power play goal ended up being the game winner. That is back-to-back games that a power play goal from Tyler Hopkins wins the game for the Guelph Storm. We'll bring it back up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth one more time. Dylan Clark, Jack Snevice, and Jack for the Guelph Storm. They're all smiles getting back on the bus right now for the Saginaw Spirit. They had an advantage going into the third period that went away quickly.
If we had a telestrator up here, I would have had a big circle around that 3 number in the third period. That's how many shots the Saginaw Spirit had. And part of it is I think they probably ran out of gas, right? We talked about a couple of injuries in the blue line. Younger team, easier to get kind of caught in your own end at times. Flip side of it was how well Guelph played once the goaltending change was made. It was almost a wake-up call to that whole lineup. And then from there, I mean, Tyler Hopkins had a hat trick in the third period alone. He had 4 goals in the game. He was everywhere. And to start the period like they did, 39 seconds in scoring, you could almost feel the air leave the balloon, for lack of a better term, where it just felt like, okay, we have this lead. We've done a great job in the second period of your Saginaw. And just like that, it's gone in the blink of an eye. Guelph never looked back from there.
No shortage of entertainment here in this one. 3 stars of tonight's game brought to you by Applebee's. Jack, what do we got?
Well, if it was anyone other than Tyler Hopkins as the first star, I would be having some conversations. But it's Ilya Shabinsky, a quiet 3 assists, 2 primary, but certainly has his fingerprints over the stat sheet, which you didn't think of him as making a ton of big plays. That's how good of a player he is. Dima Zhilkin obviously did as much as he could. What a second period for him. The goal to go ahead, to put him up 5-4. He had 3 points. Probably could add a couple more. We think of their chances in the power play, on the power play in the slot. Tyler Hopkins, I mean, what more to be said? 5 points, 4 goals, and a statement 4-game win streak now for the Guelph Storm.
Career night for Tyler Hopkins, Toronto Maple Leafs third rounder. Helps the Guelph Storm to their 26th victory of the season, 8-5. Your 3 stars of the game brought to you by Applebee's. Let's take a look at the road ahead here for Saginaw. They're done for the weekend. Next week, just a Thursday and Saturday, bit of a light week for the Spirit after they played quite a few games here in this month of February already. Thursday, February 26th, home against the Ottawa 67s. Nick Sema makes his return to the Dow Event Center for the first time since the trade. Peterborough, then on Saturday, the Pete's just picking up the overtime win against the Brantford Bulldogs earlier today. Hockey for the Homeless Night, some specialty jerseys, the pregame broom ball tournament. We'll put out more information about Hockey for the Homeless Night coming up in the week ahead. And then another road trip begins Thursday, March the 5th in Niagara. We are knocking on the door of March, which means we're knocking on the door of postseason hockey here in the Ontario Hockey League. Your look ahead brought to you by Applied Innovation. You can watch all of those games on Flow Hockey. You can listen to every single one of them here on 100.5 FM WSGW as well. Guelph 8, Saginaw 5. Matthew Lester runs the radio right now here for us on this broadcast. Andy Harrington's been our director here on the television broadcast side of things. For Jack Snevice, my name's Dylan Clark. Thanks for being with us, everybody. Good night, Saginaw. We will talk to you next Thursday.
You've been listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Storm Master Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. All season long, the Spirit play on WSGW 100.5 FM and online WSGW.com. We now return to regular programming on WSGW.